Yes, good people, big up to all of you, and welcome once again to another edition of the Blue Morning Show. Specifically today, we will be previewing the Chelsea away game in the Premier League against Luton Town. They picked up form a bit. It's been difficult to beat at home, and then we will address some news items before we do that. But more importantly, as usual, because we keep it civil here, it's important to look at what we already have in the comment section and say hello to the people there because we keep it interactive there. Already we have quite a lot in the chat. We do have, this will be the best lineup. Okay, which one? Lavia is injured again. We're not sure how serious, but he finished the game, so I'm not too concerned. What did Bobby type there? I'm seeing just some squiggly stuff there. And Constantine Dante. Big up to you two right there. And Bobby, this is for you too. I appreciate you. Much respect to you. It's all love. It's all love. And let's see what else we have here. Constantine Dante, I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. And my bro, the gist, Mitchy boy, the Scotch pot. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. That's for you too. And please, if you're in the comment section, if you haven't, go check out Mitchy Boy's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you great content as usual. If you enjoy the content here, you will most definitely enjoy Mitchy Boy's YouTube channel. Let's see what else we have. Bobby in the house saying hello to Mitchy Boy and Constantine Dante. Just people saying hello to there. Big up to you too, Bobby. Much love to you. Let's see anybody else to say hello to before I move on to the very bottom. Let's see. Mitchy Bobby is bigging you up quite a lot. The Lord indeed is my shepherd. Psalm 23. I think, okay. I know. Smoky Signal, big up Psalm 23. Yep. It's a good one. Keep dropping the likes. I like the love I'm seeing in the chat. And Khalid, I cannot believe Victor Osimhen just blatantly said on Twitter for Chelsea to come by him. Yeah, I did see that too. And I'm begging Tobeho to share that with me. A Chelsea fan begged him to come join Chelsea. And he liked the post with the praying hand, which means he wants to come to us. And I'd be shocked if that isn't the case. But yeah, that made me happy. But nice to see you, Kalito. Nice to see you, brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. And we have a Tiger Beast, a Prince is coming to claim the throne. The breach waits in awe of Osimhen 1 month ago. Let's see what happens. I hope he comes. Jabroni is here. Yep, I forgot to say that one. And my bro Fairboy is also in the house. Fairboy, nice to see you. Hello, everyone. The longest while. Hope all are doing well. I hope you're doing well too, brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join us. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Michi, just saying hello to Michi Boy there. And King Prince, hello, Kachila. Osimhen is coming to Chelsea. Here's the thing, that's a sign, and chances are before he did that, chances are that we've already reached out to him, that we're already talking with him. That may well be the case. There's no way to tell if that's the case indeed, but I liked that. It moved me, I have to say. I usually don't take, you can say, such seriously, but the fact that you can confirm that that's a particular account is his indeed. That makes a huge difference. Tiger Beast is saying, big up, coach. I won't be able to join the panel. No worries. Joining the panel don't pay the bills. You're not obliged to do that. So whenever time allows, well, much love to you, brother. Always nice to see you. Let's see, just for streams, Dante. Let's see anything else here. Big up to my bro, AD Love for Blue. Nice to see you, brother. I appreciate you. And you know, I appreciate you beyond words I can explain because of all the updates you send me all the time before shows. They've been very helpful because, yeah, I cannot imagine myself doing everything alone. But thank you, AD, once more. I love you so much, brother. Let's see. Hi, from Siaka, South Africa. Hi, greetings to you too, brother. I hope you're doing well. Let's start addressing the items we have lined up here one by one. But before we do that, as usual, I'm not going to forget to play the Blue Morning Show intro. I like it so much. So let's go for it. Yes, people, thank you once again for finding the time to join this particular edition of the Blue Morning Show. We will start addressing the news item we have lined up immediately so we can have enough time to go into the game, preview the game, do the predicted lineup exercise, and then take some time to dissect, analyze the comments from the manager's presser, which will happen in about, let's say, less than an hour, actually, in about 20 minutes. But that's right away. We'll start addressing the item. The first item here on the screen is Chelsea want to dip into the market to fix their problems with Mauricio Pochettino's team struggling down in 10th in the Premier League. They increasingly feel that a move for the right striker can transform another disappointing season. Yes, and even though I have my concerns about Osimhen, I think he will make a difference in this team. Some of the crosses that we've had fizzle against the goalposts. For me, I think if we had a striker like him, he'd put them away. But I don't like the idea of signing a striker and play, you can say, with an approach that whenever we get to the final third, all our goal scoring opportunities will be channeled through a single individual. That's an issue for me. Osimhen, yeah, I've taken my time to look at him again. He is able to participate in the play, and he's not just you can say, even though he's played mainly as a traditional number 9, I think he's still young and can adapt to any approach. Fair boy, my bro, it's been a while, and that's for you. Nice to see you again. It's been like 1,000 years. That's not to say we're vampires, but happy to see you, my brother. I hope you're doing well. I hope you've been good. How have you been, fair boy?
I've been doing very, very well. I've been doing very, very well. I miss all you guys.
We miss you
It's
too.
been
We
a
miss you
while.
too, brother.
Yeah, I've been away because of a few technical difficulties with my device. So hopefully I'll be back for good.
All right, maybe we'll talk behind the scenes. You never know. But happy to see you, brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join the panel. Yep. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We have anybody else, and Constantine Dante saying with regards to this particular report on the screen here. Constantine Dante is saying, yep, a striker is not enough to completely transform transform us. Okay, that comes from coaching more, in my opinion. I think he will do more coaching. I think his thing, we've seen, it's not like, I get it. It's been, you can say it's been, we've not been consistent enough. And in my opinion, that's down to us having too many young players. Lack of consistency. You can say that's part of it. That's because kids will always be kids. They're good. We have an excellent crop of talented players, but the truth remains they're not experienced enough to be able to manage games even when we're 2 goals up. We fear that we may still end up losing that game. But let's hear you, fair boy. I don't think we'll be looking at, and there's another report that I did see yesterday that say we'll be looking to also sign a central midfielder, maybe a more experienced midfielder or an experienced midfielder that will be well suitable for the managers, well suited with the managers, you can say the kind of midfielder he's looking for. But that's by the way, fair boy. The question I have for you says, I don't know if you have anything to say with this particular report. I don't know. No need to ask you any question. That's up to you. If you can see it, or should I? Do you want me to read it out for you?
I
You
can
there?
actually see it. Let me see.
Okay.
It
You go
says that.
ahead. Okay, go ahead, brother.
Do you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
crystal clear.
So I can actually see. I can actually see the post. So Chelsea want to dip into the market to fix their problems, with Mauricio Pochettino's team struggling down in 10th and the Premier League. Look, I
So, which
actually
areas
agree
do you
with
think
the
we need a
post,
striker? Do you think
and
we need a midfielder? Do you think we need a defender?
I think we need a striker. I think we need a midfielder, right? And I think, okay, so I'll say particularly these 2 areas, the striking role and the midfield role. One reason I want these particular areas to be strengthened is not necessarily because of quality per se, because I think that, look, in midfield, we have good players in Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, and Conor Gallagher too have also shown that he's a very good player. I've watched a lot of Chelsea's matches of late, and Chelsea have been doing quite well in certain games. I've been so happy and impressed with them. They've been very good when it comes to the big games. They've been excellent. But I think the issue, as you just said earlier, has to do with the age and the time they've spent in the Premier League. Some of them have not played top flight division. Like, how many of them are experienced in the Premier League? Are players. You understand? So the need for experience is there. We need players who have done it before. Okay, they are pros. They are pros in the professional level, like in the highest level. They've had that experience. So I think we need experience in midfield, right? So that they could guide the young ones. And I think for the attack, obviously, our issue has been goals. We've been creating a lot of chances. We've been creating so many chances. Palmer has been so instrumental in creating these chances. Nkunku of late, after his injury and his return, he's been very instrumental in creating chances, but we don't have goal scorers. And I think that true, we need a striker. 100%. We need a prolific attacker. But we also need our players or our wing forwards to step up. Honestly, Coachella, they need to step up. Because let's be real. If you look at the goals that a team scores, do you think that the striker is the only one who scores all those goals?
No.
Do you think that is so? You understand?
No, that's not true. It has to come from every department on the pitch.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100% because it would be unfair to lay all those burdens on the striker. And think about it also. The players are not statical. They're always moving. You see, the striker will drop deep. Then we see a winger filling the striker's position. So we didn't have to wait for the striker to come into that position before he can score goals. Absolutely not. You understand? So I think that the wingers need to step up. And what Mohamed Kudus is doing at West Ham too, we need to keep our eye on him. Honestly, proper goal scoring midfielder.
Yeah, he's not going to come cheap again. I think Chelsea will look beyond Kudus. I'm quite sure you're referencing Kudus. We decided to go for Palmer rather than Kudus at the time, and I don't think we'll go back for him again because he's not going to come cheap. I think the priority will be, in my opinion, will be a striker. If they want a central midfielder, I'm not sure the sort of profile they'd be looking for because we're actually packed in that area. But let's see what the club does. January is just how many days now? How many days? Just 2 days. 3 days. But go ahead with what you were saying.
But I feel like.
Yeah, I think you're having an audio issue. Maybe you have to go out and come back in. I'm gonna keep getting. Yeah, go ahead.
I thought Kudus would have. Okay, good. So watching the games he's played for West Ham United, I remember I watched West Ham's game against Liverpool, and I realized that when Paqueta was not part of that setup, and they played against Liverpool with just Bowen and Kudus. And what was this? This Ben Rama.
Sahid. Is it Sahid? I can't quite remember his first name. Go ahead.
Yes, Said Ben Rama. That's him.
I think your audio is breaking up. You might have to go back, go out and come back in. Your audio is really breaking up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 1207, Chirag Naidu says, Gilchrist are showing Chelsea blue, given more game time, getting Genteri feeling from him. I'm not just going to judge the kid from just, that he nearly, you can say, broke someone's leg. I like the spirit there, but beyond that, I want to see more. Because I don't know him that much. Man, Victor Osimhen is showing an interest in Chelsea, and chances are we're already talking with him. You never know. You're never going to get consistency from youngsters. Yep, that's a tapping from you, really. Kids will always be kids. From youngsters, especially these days with so many distractions. But the more inconsistency is coming from his coaching, in your opinion, and I don't blame him. If we're being truthful, the fact remains that injuries we've had haven't helped. If the injuries have compounded the issues. Hello to you too, the coolest sales, my bro. I appreciate you finding the time to join. I hope you're doing well. You know what to do. Fairboy, just give me a few more seconds here. I'll come back to you in a bit. This is saying Dante out. Yep, as usual. Tell him to be good. Tell him that. On goal mostly. Let's see. What is news about Lavia and Enzo? Enzo not fully fit. Lavia, we're not too sure the extent of the issue he experienced during that game, but he finished the game. It wasn't like he stopped playing and had to be taken off. So we'll find out soon, maybe today during the manager's presser. If players cannot finish, then what Poch can do? Yeah, exactly. Okay, Poch more. When you will blame Poch more when when all the players are back. We'll buy a good striker, then I would judge Poch. I think I'm the same too. And I think we need a striker only in January and address some areas in the summer. But I wouldn't mind another creative player. We have to decide what we're going to do for the left back position. Whether if we want to keep Benchu, well, then there's no need to look for another left back. Certainly, I'm quite sure that Ian Matson will leave the club. So we have only Marco Correa, who's done well actually for us, right back, left back. Let's see. Big up to you too, Mark and Newman. Nice to see you. And Tiger Beast says, I just hope these directors don't mess up with this search for the right striker by signing youngsters instead of signing the Prince of Osimhen himself. I think they will sign an experienced striker who I really do not know. I get it. What Osimhen has done by liking a post that begs him to come join Chelsea. It's a good sign. Maybe we're already talking with him. I just do not know. Fair boy, that's the Beho saying hello to you. See, man, you're correct. Players have to step up like Gil Chris showed his impact. Even he was there for only some minutes. Yeah, I agree. But beyond that, I want to see more. But the spirit is important. 40 big chances missed this season so far. Yeah, that's concerning. That tells you a lot. It's common sense. When you look at that, it tells you, look at where our problems lie. He was trying to block with his head, which he cannot expect from our 100 million signings. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I would go for a world-class left-back midfielder. Okay, we are fine. I think we're fine in other areas. More importantly, a striker. Let's see what else we have here. Another 10 creative attacking midfielder. Yeah, traditionally an attacking midfielder, but only in the summer. We shouldn't be in a rush to get one right now. That's because Nkunku can play there. Carney Chukwemeka, I believe, can play there. And Cole Palmer, of course, can play there. No need to buy CM, rather just bring in a striker. I think that a striker alone will suffice in January, but I think that we'll do more. Please subscribe to the Coolest Sales YouTube channel. Let's help him get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. And more importantly, help him to get monetized. That way he will be encouraged to do even more. Big up to you too, Phil. Nice to see you. Happy Friday to you too, brother. Much love to you. I appreciate you finding the time to join us this particular morning. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on this thing. A world-class left back, which most can also play right back. Let's see. Is Lavia injured again? I'm not too sure until we'll hear from the manager. We haven't heard from him. Man, I am 100%. The signings are done according to Ibali now, and has set that condition. No striker with more than 25 years will be signed up, because when Bali was controlling, we were looking at CR7. Okay, I think I understand that. I tried my best. Big up to you too, my bro. I hope you've been able to collect your cash prize. If that's the case, I'm happy for you. But go ahead. So you round off with a minute or two so we can bring Bobby in and move on to the next topic we have lined up. Yeah, Fairboy, that's you. You see, we've missed you so much that I've forgotten your name. But go ahead, Fairboy.
So what was I saying? Yeah, so I was talking about Kudus and Chelsea's attacking problems.
Mm-hmm.
You made a point that we were going for Kudus and we ended up with Cole Palmer. But I'm saying that Kudus actually complements our attack. Kudus is not necessarily creative. He's a goal-scoring midfielder. So
we can actually,
if you want more goals,
we can have them both. We can have him and Palmer.
exactly. We can have both Kudus and Palmer. Look at what he's doing at West Ham. He's doing their creativity. Is it not Paqueta? Right? Paqueta.
Peter, yeah, go
Yes.
ahead. I can't see his name right.
So Kudus is often at the end. Yes, so Kudus is often at the end of the move. And that is why I think if you go for Kudus, it will be it will be an upgrade on our attack. I think the biggest disappointment in our attack is Raheem Sterling.
Okay.
Though he's been decent in a lot of games, but I feel like he's not led the Chelsea attack that well. I thought he was one player who had a lot of goals in him. But when I look at some of the decision making he makes, if you look at how often he's played in the Premier League and his experience, I think he should be doing much better. He should be scoring more goals than Jackson. You see, Jackson is not experienced in the Premier League as Raheem Sterling. So he's the biggest disappointment. He should have been teaching Jackson a few things as to how to finish. But look at the recent game we played against them. Of course. Look at the recent game we played against. Yes, it was Wolverhampton. That particular chance. Anytime I think about it and replay this at the back of my mind, I'm like, Raheem Sterling, you of all people would make such a chance. You had an option to square the ball to Palmer or the other player who was with Palmer. You could have chipped the ball over the goalkeeper. You could have rounded the goalkeeper, but instead you decided to pass the ball into the hands of the goalkeeper. So what sort of experienced attacker are you? So honestly, we really need goal scorers in our team. I've been seeing in the comments, they say we need more creative players, but we have enough. Palmer is a creative player. Nkunku, he has shown us glimpses of his creativity. All we need is goals. So it's either we get another goal scoring midfielder and a striker, or winger should be trained to be scoring more goals because we actually need goals, and without the goals, we cannot win games. Contributing factor to our inconsistencies is the fact that we are unable to score goals, especially against low blocks, whereby we can't create enough chances, and let alone to finish. So if we have these attackers being prolific, it means that if we just get a chance, we can put it away. That is all we are expecting from our team. That's what we are expecting from what do you call it? Our attackers.
Yeah. Let's hear Bobby.
That's what we are expecting. So hopefully we get experience.
Yeah, I think we will. Let's hear from Bobby. Let's show Bobby that particular report. Bobby, big up to you, and I appreciate you finding the time to join us this particular morning. I do hope you're doing well. I don't know if you can see the report on the screen, or would you like me to read it out for you?
So big up, guys.
Big up to you too, brother.
Up to me. By the way, I agreed with what the former speaker was saying. Very much so. Yeah, what's it say? What about Osimhen?
Okay, saying Chelsea want to dip into the market to fix up their problems. It's not specific. With Mauricio Pochettino's team struggling down in the down in 10th in the Premier League, they increasingly feel that a move for the right striker can. But let's stick with the first part so that it helps me with the question. To fix our problems, so what areas do you think we need a reinforcement? You can say do you think it's just to get a striker, or do you think we need another midfielder and a defender? Let's hear you, Bobby, and big up to you. And IBZ, if you're listening, we were happy to see you yesterday. That was a sign to us that you're recovering. But go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, I have 3 points to make on this. I know people hate to hear this, but Chelsea is a superpower. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Financially, we are up there with the very best, and people hate us for it. We've tried to camouflage it, but we have a conglomerate of super rich owners, and these guys can put their money where their mouth is. Trouble is, they haven't spent as much as probably they would have, if not for FFP. But that's done. dusted. They're in line with the whole FFP issue and the whole sporting fairness, if that's the truth behind this FFP. That's the
Mm-hmm.
first point. Second point is yes, we do have to dip into the transfer market to address our problems, but the problems are very few. I'm a believer in the project. I will hold, I stand by my word, by my convictions, and I believe this project will work. I just know it's something that takes time, and time sometimes, there's this saying, my father used to tell me that never despise humble beginnings. I've used that to build a business. I've used that in so many aspects of my life. If you start small and build up, you'll find out that the foundations you will lay will be solid for you going forward, and it's never
Mm-hmm.
easy. It's laden with difficulties, disappointments, and so on. Look at you. I gave yourself as an example. You have a streaming platform. Yes, you're still you still want to develop more and more, because that's what a progression is. But in the
Growth.
beginning, it couldn't have been easy. In the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, you would have had ups and downs. So about building. It's only those that don't know that suddenly expect Chelsea to wave a magic wand like Abramovich did back then, and everything just get fixed. Well, it can't be like that. So, in terms of these areas, clearly it's a striker for sure. Everybody knows it. The management know it. The coach knows it. Even the team knows it. Everybody knows it. It's a striker. Is there anywhere else? I've heard someone talking about Kudus. I don't know. West Ham now. Have we set ourselves up for another stupendous um, spend if we do want this guy? Is he really going to be worth it? I don't think so. I like him. I think he's a solid player, but we should have got him when he was at Ajax. Now we've gone into a situation where West Ham would one, not want to let him go. Two, if they do, they'll ask for absolutely stupendous money. Can we use players as part of a bargaining tool? Probably. Would we like to get rid of people like Raheem and that? Probably. But West Ham have bigger visions now, and I don't know if they'll go for that. They'll want stupendous cash. So we've kind of made a horrible mistake in not going for Kudus in the beginning. Now I know how that happened. We were focused on Olise and see what happened there, and then we went for Palmer. Palmer is an exceptional buy, but I think he can play with a Kudus. He'll probably be much better with a Kudus. The team will be much better with a Kudus than his striker. Now, do we need a defender? I think we do need a left back. I think it would be a worthy investment for a specialist in that area. I really do. Cucurella is good. He has his moments, but he needs a rotational player. Now, to me, that will mean we push Chilwell further forward, because I don't think Chilwell has it in him anymore to go up and down. He's an injury-prone player, and we'll be lucky to see him for a full season if we task his body. But if we say, okay, we've got a proper left back, and along with Cucurella, and he can go a little bit further forward in the knowledge of the fact that, look, at some point Martin will be sold. At some point we're going to need to be benching uh, um, Sterling. Yes, Mudryk can play left or right. Yes, even Noni can play left or right. I think that would be a shrewd piece of business. Centre backs. Do we need a centre back? Well, we certainly need somebody to understudy Thiago Silva, because it seems quite clear he won't be here for another season. So who will that be? Do we have enough? Is Badiashile going to find form, from some of his clumsy mistakes? I think he will, but that's left to be seen. People don't like Desassi. I do. I think Desassi is good enough. I think he's solid. You have to remember, we play in the Premier League. The Premier League is not all about silky skills. You need a kind of mixture in your team. That's why I liked Gilchrist so much. Is he an exceptionally technical player? No. but he will give you heart and soul, blood and thunder, which you need in the Premier League. He will be a complement to somebody like Conor Gallagher, which you need in the Premier League. You're not winning anything without these players. Honestly, you need them. And I would go all out to keep him. He's a good right back if needed. Can he play centre back? Probably. Is he big enough? I'm not sure. I don't know. He's very young. He still has some growth to go, but he needs to be in the squad at some, in some way or other. So yeah, we dip in the transfer market. The striker is a definite, and a left back is a hope, and maybe another offensive midfielder. Bearing in mind that we look to offload, I don't know. The only reason I think I'm kind of buckling to letting go of Chalobah, is that he's injury prone. To me, I don't think he'll ever give you a full season. He's shown that. Is it because of his age? Maybe. Does he need to play in a slower league? I would say it would do him good to go abroad. So we will sell Chalobah. Sadly, it looks like Martin will be sold, or he might force a rundown of his contract if he doesn't go where he wants to go. We got to get rid of Malang Sarr. We've got to, and that is those three at least. And then we go forward. I think it will be absolute insanity to talk of getting rid of Conor Gallagher. I think our midfield is solid. Our midfield is complete. If they're all fit, if someone like Leslie is fit and everybody else is fit and his game time is lacking, there's always the lone option. But I would rather have all those midfielders fit, all those midfielders battling for a first team place, and let's have some disgruntled that they're not getting on. I'd rather see that than the situation we're in now. Have them all fit, all performing at the highest level, and someone not getting enough game time and saying, "Oh, I want to go" and all that. Yeah, fine, whatever. But we have to have the best at Chelsea and the best in squad depth. So let's see what happens January on. January to me is a weird transfer market. Are we really going to get what we want? If we get the striker, happy days. But I don't see us getting the striker we need or want until summer, unless something you know, quite exceptional happens with the Osimhen case. Look, I'm attracted to Osimhen. Crikey, I think the guy is African Footballer of the Year, the
Yep.
current one. So
Yep.
you don't get that from being you got to be some special player to get that. So there's got to be something about him. He does score goals. Albeit in Italy. It's that African Player of the Year that has raised my eyebrows because you walk amongst some of the elite in the world. There's people like Drogba, Salah.
Hmm.
Before that, George Weah. I mean, these are good players. So there's got to be something about him. He's quality. And if he comes to Chelsea, he's that kind of player that he's at the right age. He's mobile enough. He might really hit the giddy heights. He might be an
Yeah,
exceptional.
we will get to that topic in a bit.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's my answer to the point.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bobby. Before I go to Roger Dodger, chairman of the Goalkeepers Union, Roger Donkey, whatever name Mitchy says, people should be calling him. I like to give those in the chat the microphone. Hit the like button, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way, and if you subscribe, even more, would really appreciate that. And Jerry, go spend time with your wife, just like Tobeho said. If you're you said you are in Starbucks in London. Sterling is known for his sitter misses. No surprises there. I think Nick Blue would tell you that. He was one of those saying, don't sign him. Free Wi-Fi to Jerry. Yeah, enjoy it there, Jerry. It's true that Victor Osimhen is willing to come to Chelsea FC after signing a new contract with his current team. Yep, I think the new contract is more like what Adebayo Mokunju called a loyalty contract. He just Napoli just wanted to make sure that whenever they sell him, they get a sizable fee from their most valuable asset, in my opinion, because he had just about less than 2 years left on his contract at the time. Now they've extended the contract, I think, until 2026, is that something like that? So, which is you can still say 2 years plus. So they know you can say they've resigned to losing him, but they want to at least get something sizable when that happens. So that's why he made sure that a release clause is sorted. We're told it's something in the region of 140 million euros, which is around 112 million pounds or so. I can't quite remember, or 130. Tabejo, once more, let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. This Chelsea team needs a reinforcement at striker, a creative central midfielder, and fullbacks. Not fullbacks, maybe, but we'll see what the club does. Because if we have to be going into the market to buy players every time we have one injured, to me, we're going back to the behavior that led to us having a bloated squad not long ago, which was difficult to get rid of. So I don't think we will be doing much of that this time. Big up, Coach. Big up to you too, Jay. I appreciate you finding the time to join us here. Thank you so much. And Mitchell Boy is also big up 2 a.m. Jay. Mitchell Boy is in the house again. Please go check out Mitchell Boy's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Excellent content creator. He's gone from a fellow content creator to a brother that I can trust. But let's move on. Why are we talking about Kudus? I think it was our bro, Fairboy, that raised that because he's following him, and Kudus is his countryman. So maybe he's kind of being a bit, you could say, subconsciously, maybe I don't know, just pushing for the club to sign his countryman, and a good countryman at that, good footballer at that, not just because it's a Kudus is his countryman. I would prefer Santiago Jimenez than Osimhen. Jimenez is much stronger, better in the air, okay, and can play as a target man to Osimhen. Is similar profile to Nkunku. What? This comment is so upside down that the opposite, in my opinion, is what I believe the case is. No, Santiago Jimenez is more like Nkunku, while Osimhen, it's more like a traditional number 9, but can also drop deep and do the rest. Cracking new jokes every time. Big up to you too. Let's see what else we have here. If we get a proper left back, then Chilwell moves to center back. No point of buying another center back. I wouldn't trust Chilwell as a center back, but that's just me anyway. Big up to you too, Chelsea, all the way. Nice to see you again, brother. You took a break, but nice to have you back. And it's good to hear that you've been busy, and the case is not that anything wrong happened on your end, anything bad happened on your end, but happy to see you. BRZ, my brother, is it Switzerland? I can't quite remember, but nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. You're not late. We're just 48 minutes into the show, and lateness is greatness, by the way. Same here, Will, fella Chelsea, you think? Okay. Osimhen, Leao, Olise, and Alphonso Davies. That's quite a list there, and I don't think we're signing all those players. We're cooking. Okay, let's see what happens. But nice to see you, Eugene. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Hi, Coach. Hi, Bobby. Great analysis. Rich Money Makers, thank you so much. We appreciate the praise. Like Tom Abiodekun, nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Osimhen, Leon, Nkunku, Lisa, Enzo, Lavia, Davies, Alfonso Davies, Lukeba, Badia, Sheila, Gusto, and Ramiro. Okay, that's the squad you want. You're forgetting Mbappe, Eugene. Remind him. Remind him that. And by the way, Eugene, this is for you, brother. Much respect to you for all the support. Let's see. What are we cooking? Quite a lot. Something delicious, maybe. Hopefully, we don't overcook. Yeah, from Switzerland. So I got that right. So thank you, brother, for joining us today again. Good morning, Coach Dumpry, Coachy. Nice to see you. Nice to see you again, brother. I hope you're doing well. Much love to you. And please subscribe to Blueboard Analysis. Go check it out. Subscribe. Let's help him grow. I'm going to move on to Roger now. Roger, let's hear you. I'm going to read this out for you if you're not listening. Probably maybe you were focused on finding reasons to defend some of the many clients that you have. But before I do that, let me say hello to my bro here, Vic. Big up, everyone. Vic, this is for you. I appreciate you joining. So, Roger, let's see. This says that Chelsea want to dip into the transfer market to fix their problems. I'm just going to stop it there. because if I read the second part of the strike that talks about us needing a striker, the right profile of striker, maybe that will push you to talking about strikers alone. What areas do you think we need reinforcements? Do you think we need just a striker? Do you think we need a midfielder and a defender? We've heard that we're interested in signing. We've been linked with, I think, two defenders, right, centre backs right now. But let's hear you, Roger. Your thoughts. What areas do you think we need to get reinforcements for?
Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
I can't complain. Gracias. Hola. Aloha. Konnichiwa. I'm missing quite a few, but don't worry.
It's always a pleasure to be on the panel with Bobby.
Yeah,
really
of
is.
course, Coach can go jump into a well.
No. I wouldn't do that.
I'm just kidding. I know, Roger.
I wouldn't do that to the water well, Coach.
Big up, Roger.
Just kidding.
And I thought you
know
were
it,
being
brother.
nice.
We
And
know.
I thought you were gonna be nice, Roger. But go ahead.
'Tis the season to be jolly.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's a very good question. The jury's still out for goalkeeper. He's still very young and still very raw. I still need to see more of him. But from what I have seen, assuming this keeper can, at the very least, maintain this level of standard, shall we say, and obviously, hopefully improve, because he's by far not the finished article, then if that's the case, then we may not need to dip into the market for a keeper. Because I have been pleasantly surprised. He shows a lot more maturity than I anticipated at this juncture in his career. So from that position, which you obviously know is the most important position, then I would say, I'll be honest with you. I saw the game again against Palace. And to say that Jackson is a dichotomy in terms is an understatement. He did so many things so well on that game, as he does most games. I'll be honest with you. I don't have an agenda for any player.
But of late, he's been poor. But in that game, he picked it up. He picked it up again.
Listen, I think a lot of his games he plays very well. To be honest with you, it's his finishing. Listen, I think his strength is, believe it or not, it's the flick-ons when there's a long ball. He invariably
How about hold-up play?
Yeah, well, I was about to mention that. His flick-ons.
Of course, I have to do a tapping.
Yeah, but the only problem is it was in the wrong goal. It's an own goal. Just kidding. It's one of those mornings, huh? No, listen, what he does very well. And let's not forget, all joking aside, he's still exceptionally young. He has so much more to reach his fully realized potential. He's far from the finished article. He is the quintessential definition of raw. He really is. But his finishing. Now and I know, and I often defend number nines or anyone. It's not just them getting goals. It's about intelligent runs. Do they take away defenders from the goal scorer? Do they do they make runs when needed to at the near and far post, etc.? My biggest complaints about him is obviously aerially, and then obviously
put the chances away.
Yeah, I mean, at least get the shot on target. At least test the keeper. His misses could have put us easily ahead where we're cruising in that game. Let's be honest, that game could have easily gone either way. I'm being serious. In fact, the majority of the second half, I was under the impression if anyone was going to concede, it was going to be Chelsea. Just being honest.
Yeah.
I think it's, let's say we get an Osimhen or anyone of this ilk. I think that would mean taking a step back for someone like a Jackson or a Broja, which will, thwart their growth, their ability. That people like this, they need to play in, week out, to hone their craft, to really, improve on the nuances. And there's not, who else is there in the team that he can learn from this experience? There is no Olivier Giroud, etc. That's another thing that is an issue. Perhaps get a Drogba as a coach, I mean, I'm sure he can impart a lot of wisdom to players like Jackson and Broja. I'm just using him as an example. So, in all likelihood, I'm conflicted. I know it sounds like I'm sitting on the fence, but it's the truth. I'm conflicted about getting a number 9 because, listen, it's so unrealistic of us to expect someone of his age to get 20-something goals in the Premier League a season. You know, it's unrealistic, and it's really not fair to him or the team or the coaching staff. I think we're being, as usual, you know, we're expecting us to make a Rolls Royce out of some plasticine, you know. I just don't get it. But, you know, if we do get someone like an Osimhen, I wouldn't say no, even though I have my doubts about him, his injury prone this, and also the fact that he is yet to, he's yet to actually prove he can make that transition into this league. I think, I'm not sure about this window, but I think we need to get a centre back because you're looking at Chalobah leaving. You're looking at Thiago Silva,
Thiago Silva retiring, and
yeah, or being phased out. He's not exactly the fountain of youth, is he? So if we do buy a number 9, and we have to do it this window, because even if he doesn't come to these shores this window, that we could hopefully, assuming this is legal, that we could actually have an elongated contract longer than 5 years that would be spread over, the cost would be spread over the term of the contract. So
that's a very good point,
amortization.
Roger. That's a very good point.
Yeah, occasionally I make 1 or 2, occasionally. But that's
he's not that good.
Yeah, exactly. But let's be honest, though. These are, and then I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure about a left back. I think once James comes back, there's a strong possibility that Gusto could play on the left. Don't forget, he's ambidextrous on both feet. He really is. You can't tell which is his more predominant foot. He's very good with both. And let's be honest, my biggest criticism of him playing for Chelsea initially was the pathetically poor quality of his crosses. They were horrible. Now look at him. He seems to be a different player completely. He's putting in quality crosses with both feet. So probably the fact that, you know, he was out for such a long time, no preseason, etc. So, you know, I don't know. Midfield, I mean, I get we need an experienced midfielder perhaps, but have you seen how crowded it is? I mean, Moises, Carney. I mean, Carney, don't forget, we've seen, 3 seconds of him this season. Enzo, Connor, even though there's a chance he could be sold. Lavia, he's played, a couple of minutes for us. And poor Leslie. And then you've got, you know, the Brazilian that's coming back from loan, then the Italian. I don't know. Maybe we have to move players on. Or at least make sure that we give them good loans, because a lot of these loans have not been the greatest.
Yeah, my what I think is that if there's any need to sign a central midfielder, I don't think the owners will be sentimental about it. I think they will just do it. If it means that we'll become better and start doing better, which clubs do, they will let one or two midfielders go to get the correct profile for the manager to do well if he asks for one. But
because we need to realistically, because of financial reasons and other reasons, we do need to be top 7. Is it attainable? I doubt it, but it's possible mathematically. And until that is eliminated, that mathematical probability, then we must go for it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm a bit worried about our centre backs. I question, are they way too young to be of Premier League quality? Because if you look at the mistakes that we are giving away, that we're gifting our opponents, and a lot of them are unforced. Let's not kid ourselves. They're schoolboy errors. We may have to get an experienced player. Go someone above 25.
Yeah. Let's see what the club does. I will give those in the chat the microphone. We'll come back, move on to the next item we have lined up here. And Vic, thank you for that update you just sent to me. We have to stop buying players and focus more on improving the ones we have. I'm not too sure what the club are going to do. If the ones we have, if we sense that they're not going to be good enough for us to reach that level or in the table where we get more. We benefit more financially, I think the club wouldn't even consider development. They will wield the axe and buy more competent players. That's how clubs operate. You don't keep a player just because for the sake of you have them. You don't need to change them. No, if they senses that they can do better, they will make a move. It's as simple as that. Let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with 35 likes. We should be doing better than that. Yes, Roger is in the house. Pop champagne here. Let's see what else we have. Breaking news. Carlo Ancelotti has signed a deal at Real Madrid, valid until 2026. Even they seeking stability, in my opinion. I can be a better goalkeeper than Roger. Oh, okay. That's an argument you have to take to him. Paquita immediately in January. We don't know what the club, what Chelsea are going to do. Roger, which means hello in Sihosa in South Africa. Okay, Molo Roger. Okay, thank you for that lesson
Molo.
there. But do we need another number 10? We already have Palmer, Nkunku, Jackson, Sterling, Chukwuemeka, Gallagher, who can play that role. Here's the thing. I think that's one thing Dante and I can agree upon. We agree on so many things, but this one in particular, for me, all the 10s we have, but everything comes down to how the profile of player the manager wants. We've always heard that he wants a front players who can play across all three positions in the front area as a number 9 on 10. Actually, 4 positions: 9, 10, left wing, right wing, and Palmer and Nkunku. Those guys are all that. Maybe not Connie Chukwuemeka. But we don't really have a traditional 10, but maybe he doesn't want one. I don't know. We'll find out in due time. But Tiger Beast, nice to see you once more, brother. I appreciate you joining. Paquita training with Tonelli. Hi, Stat. What do you mean by that? I want to hear that. Why you said that we should always focus on one of better players no matter what we have. And that's how clubs operate. And that's what I think is going to happen. If we feel like we can do better than any player, no sentiments. They will sell that player in a heartbeat and get a new player. Brozovic, Inter are in trouble. Yep, Tonelli's mate. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And Baba Jeremy, nice to see you. And thank you for finding the time to join the show this morning. The best striker is ready to come to your club, and you don't sign him. That would be criminal. Bring Osimhen to the breach. Chances are we was already talking with him. We don't know. The owners, I think, what I've seen from them is that they like to create what Bobby calls a smoke screen, and you focus on that, and then boom, they do something else. So I'm not too sure what's going to happen. Let's see, very criminal indeed. Gallagher has created more goal scoring chances than Paquita, and I am not kidding. I've seen that too, and I did see that after our last game. He was, in my opinion, he was excellent against Crystal Palace. Not the most shiny in the shiniest way, but let me just use this term, if there's anything like that, the most effective way. Plus, actually, if you're talking about being shiny, actually, he's becoming even more shinier by each game. But that's just me. But we'll talk about him. I have that lined up. We have that lined up as one of the topics. The coach, the cost cannot be spread over. Okay, I guess he can be given a long contract, but amortization will happen only 5 years. 5 years is still a lot of time. I think he'll still go a long way. Roger's still in love with Broya. Ben Chilwell will come back. I'm tired of Ben Chilwell, really. And in my opinion, I will pick Cucurella over him anytime, any day. For reasons I've explained, they differ, but I'll pick Cucurella. Let's see what else we have. I told everyone here that last year we should use Gusto in the left back position. I remember you saying that, and boy, he did well in the left back position. And he said also during an interview he doesn't mind where the manager wants him to play. Coach, can you please put a limit on time when Roger or Bobby talks?
Ouch.
Just go away, man. sell Leslie and bring back Casadei and Santos. No, you're saying sell only what you can say recognize the traditional DM we have. No, it just doesn't make sense. Morning, Coach Roger, Bobby, and everyone. But whether he goes or stays is not my decision. It's the club and the manager. It looks like the manager likes him, but he has to stay fit though. Yes, Roger. I also feared Chelsea would lose our last game. We need to get ball up. Ball position and score goals. Okay, I don't know what to make of that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. And Santiago Munoz, my assistant, is in the house. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Barilla, I like Nicolo Barilla. If we can get him, I'll take him. I think we need a left back. I think so too, because the team are taking advantage of Cowell as a left back. And Cowell isn't a left back. And that's why I don't like it anytime people start judging him for making a mistake or for drifting inwards, trying to contest for the ball and then leaving the left back position vulnerable. I don't blame him. I know that's an excellent player in him, but he should be playing centrally and not in the left back position. What else do we have? Yeah, give Poch the players he needs. I'm not sure what to make of that. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom, and we have to switch to the next topics we have lined up as soon as possible. Anything else to get here that I haven't? I don't think there's anything serious to go to right now. I've said hello to everybody in the chat, and we'll start here again. So let's move on to the next item we have lined up. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. All right, let's go. Malo Gusto on being asked to play left back. I have to try to play everywhere. The coach asked me to go over to the left side, and I will try my best every time. I am ready to play everywhere. I like his spirit, and for me, I'm going to say this. I think I already said that during the post-game show, or you can say the match review show. This guy, he can lead, and I like a leader that can lead by example, not just not just by having the armband. I'm not having to dig at anybody before that somebody interprets my comments as such. That's not what it is. I just like him, the sort of fight he showed, and I still can't believe. I'm gonna go through that again. Maybe have Roger talk about it. That turn, first of all, the turn to come inwards was delicious, and then he tried to find Nkunku when the Palace defender slipped. The ball got to Nkunku. How Gusto got to the left-hand side, I couldn't. Was he? Maybe he was teleported to that place. I didn't know how that happened, and he had to be the one to put in the cross on the carpet for Mudryk to finish. I was impressed, really. He didn't give up, which means he followed the movement of the ball and since he need to be on the left flank because Mudryk was already central. That's football and intelligence for me. And I sincerely do appreciate that. I don't know, Richard, you want to say anything about that?
About Gusto's contribution to the first goal?
That goal, yeah.
Yeah, it was beautiful turn on the ball. Absolutely exquisite. Very impressed. I like the fact, to be honest with you, that notice Mudryk was actually playing more centrally, and Nkunku came out wide on occasion. If you notice that, it was a very fluid situation. I like the fact that, listen, we've all been critical of our players not finding open spaces in the box, and our cutback passes have gone, have gone really have been wasted for all intents and purposes. And I thought that was a wonderfully executed pass and cutback, great positional sense. He looked like a player beyond his years in that regard. Listen, every part of that goal was wonderful.
It was.
Gusto, I thought, had his best game in the Chelsea shirt by far. Not just on the ball, but off the ball. He made some important tackles. He went to ground once in the penalty box, which kind of scared me, but he did it so well. He looked a very mature player. He also played equally as well on both sides of the ball. I think this is something that we cannot dismiss. It shows me he's highly versatile and very comfortable with both feet, being able to cross the ball with both feet. And also, obviously, his hip rotation with regards to the stance when defending, like a cornerback does against a wide receiver in the NFL. These little nuances that usually comes from a highly experienced veteran player, not a 20-year-old. That's he's thousands of years away from reaching his peak, and so I think we have a lot of good things to look forward to with this chap. As I said, I was hesitant about him because of his lack of forward passes, crossing. They were just so poor his first few games. I mean, they were putrid. Now he's a shadow of himself. So yeah, I like him. He's been at times the best player on the field for us. I really believe that, and I think he deserved
3 assists right now.
Yeah, and he deserved man of the match. Yeah, he does. I mean, he's playing the position that you're supposed to cross the ball, so he should have lofty stats in that regard. Considering he's played very little, that is impressive. I get it. Listen,
you notice he's good aerially too.
Yeah, not bad. Because he's not exactly a towering figure. I don't know what his height is, but I'm sure it's he's not entering the NBA anytime soon. That's for sure. But listen,
he has a good lip in him. Let's just put it there.
Yeah, he's got good hops. I think we had 6 big chances and we converted on 2. That means we missed 4, if my math serves me correctly, Coach. It's like British education. But
we have signed us a special player there, and given how much we paid for him, I think we were lucky. Because had he stayed, had we refused, had we refused to pay and let him finish the season with them, and by now probably he'd be playing for another club.
Yeah, where would we be right now?
Yeah, that's another one. But I'm glad we were willing to wait for him to finish the season with them. I think it was Laurent Blanc was the current coach at the time.
Yeah, it was. The former French manager.
Yeah. So anybody else on the panel want to speak about Malo Gusto before we move on to the next item and then get to the match preview proper? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Roger, were you still speaking?
No, I was coughing. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead, Bobby.
I just wanted to add that, yes, Gusto gave us a glimpse of the vast level of quality these youngsters have. In fact, I think both Gusto, Jackson, the much maligned Jackson, certainly Lavia, which other of those youngsters came on, and Petrovic, indeed, in goal, because he seems to me, that there are moments where you think, oh, is he really going to be up to it? And then, I'm less worried with him in goal than Sanchez. And all these players are showing us a glimpse of their quality and the reason why we must persist with this project, because they are exceptional players. Mudryk, you can really see them in a few years' time being, fantastic players. And I think we're very blessed to have this crop of youngsters. I really do. So yeah, Gusto, the goal was amazing. His running, his athleticism. I got worried when he got clattered and was limping a bit. I was thinking, oh my God, not again. We don't need this. We just let us, please God, have a long stretch with no more injuries. But yeah, he is truly an exceptional player, and honestly, he's going to give Reece James a run for his money. He really is, certainly in that position.
He will, because it's not the sort of player you can say he drops to the bench. No, I think what the manager will be rotate, because they differ. I think you could argue he's more mobile than Reece James. Reece James is more experienced, obviously. But go ahead, Bobby. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, you're right. He certainly is more mobile than Reece James, and he always will be, because James is very sort of bulky and muscular. Let's have it right. Reece James is a magnificent player when he's when he's fit.
I'm happy
And,
we have both.
yeah. Oh, for sure. Reece James is the player that sort of really dictates it for Chelsea. But then Gusto has shown he can do that as well. So, how blessed are we? And this is a project to believe in. It really is. It's gonna work. It just has to be given time to run its course for these guys to bed in.
Yep. Thank you so much. I appreciate you finding the time to join for that particular contribution there. Am I losing it right now? Madueke will not play no matter of his goal. I think so too. I think probably Palmer comes in because Pochettino he hasn't shown that he's capable of rewarding performance. But let's see what happens. He may well start because, as Roger will always say, Pochettino is predictably unpredictable. Go ahead, Bobby. Were you saying something?
Coach, sorry, two things. Madueke, there's a measure of playing into proper match fitness. I mean, there's one thing to have a cameo, there's another thing to play the full 90. And also, Madueke and Palmer can play together. They do it for England to very, very great effect.
Yeah. And saying go all out for Ivan Toney. Who are you guys having a meeting to ban? If anybody's misbehaving, deal with the press. And I'm sure Dante has superpower there, which is called managing moderator. Malo Gusto is world-class, period. A best fullback after a fit James. That's another way to put it. So I agree with that. And I'm glad we have them both, but I think they differ. But I'm still learning how they differ. They're not the same. They're both excellent players. I need more time to figure out how they differ properly. I think we don't have a pressing need for a number 10. That's another excellent way to put it. And by the way, nice to see you, Jude, my brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join. We need guys who can fulfill role very well for now. Nkunku, Emeka, Palmer, even Jackson can also play in the number 10 role, but the application will be more of a second striker. With another striker up front, let's focus our immediate need. We agree. We're just having a conversation here. But nice to see you once more, brother. Our meeting is still pending. Let's see anything else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes that do go along with these. Fitness is the only concern that can stop him achieving everything as a right back. I hope he stays fit too. And I will bring Brandon Soppy and Gusto as back as Gusto backup. Okay. You know what? Eugene is our scouting man here. For our scouting department, Eugene leads them. Gusto play was creative plus clever. Yep. Intelligence also, I don't count that out. That's one thing I like about players. Football and intelligence, that's one thing I value the most about players. If Gilchrist can play right back, I would give him a chance and not sign another right back. I think I agree. But let's see. Maybe that's what the manager is trying to do. Big up Kuchila and Dodger. Roger, thank you for saying that, the second part of that first sentence. Also, Poch in 3 points lane tomorrow. Nkunku and Palmer on the score sheet. Roger out, Jackson out. Yeah, I like that. I want you to do also Bobby out and coach in. That's the sort of thing I want to see. Chelsea need a forward. We didn't need a forward and got a fruit. Nice to see you, brother. Appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Main thing, drop Cowell. Let's see what the manager does. Big up to you too, JC. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show, brother. Dante, big up to you. Let's see what else do we have here to read. Project looks attractive, but like any other project, adjustment might be required if something isn't performing. Example, get an additional striker and changing manager if results stay crap. I was gonna say that's that you know what, it's still a delicious comment with the if results stay crap and if some players aren't performing. So I agree with you, but nice to see you, JC. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You can say that qualifies for a delicious comment indeed. I agree. If things don't work out, which makes sense. Let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes will go a long way. Project if CFC to successful, it is aligned in fact that Poch should succeed. If Poch isn't succeeding, the CFC project comes first and Poch out. Yeah, it makes sense. If he isn't succeeding, he will leave. So Potter shouldn't be. It should get the same energy we use for Potter, we have to use the same energy for Pochettino if things aren't working out. Potter shouldn't be an exception, for lack of a better language there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Gusto is excellent player with loads of potential. That's another way to phrase it. And my bro at Debaya Markunju, nice to see you. I expect the club to have a mid-season objective review, monitor you, which is important. That's what organizations do. And you could argue we're more like your traditional business-oriented, for lack of a better language there, non-football and business-oriented maybe. That will get them to like look at things and say, okay, what are we going to do here to make sure we succeed? And review is important for every business. Yeah, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Let's see anything else. And happy holidays to the chat, everyone. Roger, I know, because you're feeling the love. Everybody saying hello, Roger this, Roger that. But good thing you appreciate. And I'm going to make sure I read out anyone that says Roger out. That's the one that's important to me. Yeah. And Eugene thinks we should say that, and Roger drinks for you. You see, much love. Nobody says ever cheers to me. Nobody. Get a top striker like Osimhen and recall Angelo. That would do for January. Yeah, let's not be in a rush to spend too much money in January. Angelo would do well at Chelsea. He's shown that he would do well if given a chance. And breaking news: my close friends of mine says Mike. Breaking news: my close friend of mine says that Chelsea this season didn't think they would get in the top 4, but with Jackson and not the finished article, Chelsea want a minimum fact. Okay, let's see. Hope I didn't misread that. Victor, morning to everyone, and Roger out. That's the one I'm looking for. The beautiful game. Yep, the beautiful game. Much love to you, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming to my rescue. Everybody, to Roger, Bobby. Our physiological department and doctors needed to make sure every player is strong. I think they're doing their job. Kuchila, Muddy, why am I reading it? Why am I reading it not knowing it was Roger?
No, it's actually
Muddy
a toast. It's actually a mud in your eye. It's actually an old English way of saying cheers.
Yeah. Is that what it means? Okay, so you're not fighting
it's
me.
It's an English toast. No, mud in your eye. It's when you say cheers.
Thank you. That's why you can say cultures differ. If I read that without what you have in parentheses, that's it. You're cussing the heck out of me.
No, not at all, coach.
Okay, no, I understand. I'm in top 7. I love any project with which takes a CFC to the top of not England England but Europe. It is also true that projects needs patience. But if we seem to be regressing, then it's normal to make adjustments. I agree. That's what it should be. But right now, I think we're good in my humble opinion. So Chelsea want Europe. Yep. Big up Roger. He goes back to big up Roger. Just go away, man. Let's address the next item we have lined up here. Malo Gusto, what a the owners have a very concrete interest in buying a minority stake in Sporting Lisbon. That's not new. I think we heard about that when we were pushing to sign Manuel Ugarte and are ready to take the lead for the club. Todd Bowley sees Portugal as a perfect place to invest in another club. So we'll move on to the next item. I don't think we have any questions there to answer. This is saying, I think his thing. That's why I've told people, even if you don't like Conor Gallagher as a player, respect what he's done so far. At least this season for us, he's been one of our best performers, and numbers don't lie. And I think in the last game also, for me, in my opinion, he was excellent. He did well, especially the first 15, 20, 25 minutes, and he finished the game well. Conor Gallagher is the only player in Europe's Big 5 league this season with 20+ shots, 20+ chances created, 20+ dribbles completed, 20+ touches in the opposition box, 20+ duels won, 20 tackles, and 20+ interception. For this particular topic, we're going to ban Bobby. We don't want to hear from Bobby. But Roger, let's hear you.
Yes, he's Connor's attorney, isn't he? No,
Connor.
listen.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, listen. you know, and I know stats can be deceiving, you know, and misleading, shall we say?
But Roger,
I
in
think,
all honesty, you know he's not my favorite player at Chelsea. Even without the numbers, I respect what he's done for us so far this season, without seeing
yeah,
the numbers. But go
yeah,
ahead.
and you know what? Not just without the ball. If you have a look at the things he does with the ball, I was debating this with Uncle Gesture on Mitchy Boy's show last week, and listen, is he the perfect player? No. Is he um, the most rounded player? No. He has flaws, but I dare you to name any player on this squad in this league or that has ever played a flawless player. Realistically, you
None.
know, you can name me. Yeah, exactly. Listen, I think his stats belie what he does for us. They reinforce the fact. You know, I think a lot of the criticism that he was, you know, receiving was relevant and on topic for last year, not this year, because I don't know whether he's had this in his closet before, the repertoire of what he's done, but or the coaching staff, whoever gets the credit, I'm not sure. All I do know is that the way he receives the ball, especially in a deep lying position, and can progress the ball, matriculate the ball up the field on his own, turn, and still with physicality. And if you notice, he's often fouled while doing so, and yet the referee has the wisdom to actually, you know, illustrate with his arms, carry on, even though you've been fouled, you know, gesturing with his
Mhm.
arms. So you see that he has the upper body strength. He has the ability to tackle. He has the ability to receive the ball on the turn with either foot. I have to accentuate it. We didn't see that from him last year.
Yeah.
And then he's got 4 assists, I think, and he should have more, but because of our blisteringly clinical finishes that we have, cough cough, of course not. Also, what he does defensively, you know, is he brash? Yes. Is he petulant at times? Yes. But you know what? He gives it all. He's passionate. He's, you know, but Bobby was right. He can play in a deep lying position. He's shown he can. He's shown he can play in a number 8, scoring 11 goals and I think assisting in 5 for Palace a few years ago. Can he play the cam? Yes, he can. Does he play perfectly? No, of course not. I don't think anyone on this panel is stating otherwise. But what he does off the ball in conjunction with what he does on the ball, I think makes him a candidate for player of the season for us. I'm being honest. And it's not because he's British. If he was French, I would say the same thing. And that's a dig at the French players because I'm British. You know, we just like to have fun with them. Just look at Monty Python. You know, it's, and I say that in joking, you know, in a humorous way, not a derogatory term. Trust me, if anyone knows the British humor, Bobby will tell. But it's like, but
And
Bobby's
I
right.
know how objective you always want to be.
Yeah,
You,
listen, my cousin, who I never wanted our club because of what you have to admit, what he does well, he does exceptionally well, you know,
Mhm.
but I think his flaws outweigh his positives. Not the case with Bobby's client. He's played exceptionally well this year on a consistent basis. Has he had a couple of bad games? Yes, he has. 2 games ago, I believe it was. I thought he played possibly his poorest game of the season. He's had about 2 or 3, but on the average, consistently, he's played with energy. He's played with, you know, he's made some outstanding tackles, none more important than the one against Salah in the first game of the season. You know, he's shown what he can do. I would like to see him score more. I'd like to see him not hitting the post. And look at how he took the ball on that where he hit the bar against, I think it was Wolves, if I'm not mistaken. Look at his first touch,
And I think he
which
could have
allowed
had
him.
an assist too in that particular game.
Yeah,
I think.
if this is a person that is so poor, just look at the first touch he made, kept it under control, which enabled him to have a shot, even though it was technically not on target because hitting the woodwork unless it goes in, it's not a shot on target, but a great shot. And just think, examples as such. I think, listen, he's a Marmite player, and I don't understand why there is such a thing. In all honesty, I don't get it, and I probably never will, and I'm fine with that. I think as long as you can look at a player objectively, don't have anything personal to do with him. I'm sure if he's my son, I'd be saying, oh, he's an 11 out of 10. But let's be honest here. I think on the average, he's a 7.5 out of 10 each and every game. On the average. And I think the fact that he's also wearing that armband, think about this, gentlemen, put that in perspective. Usually that band, the shirt is already heavy enough to wear, but to actually wear the armband, and by the way, he's done so more than any other player this season. That adds extra weight to that shirt. It gives him gravitas in so many ways for such a young player to have these leadership qualities. Yes, and I know that Silva walks into that armband every day of the week and twice on Sunday if he could speak English. No one's denying that. But I don't think he won it anyway because he can leave without being a captain. But you know what I'm saying? I think it speaks volumes for this young man. That is, how old is Connor now? I'd have to look. He's not exactly an old age pensioner, is he? So
he's not exactly the youngest either.
I think it's like 24.
You're pulling up your spreadsheet. I can help you find it.
Yeah, I need to look for Gallagher. Gallagher is 23 years and 10 months and 23 days.
So he's still young.
He's very young, and that needs to be taken.
Wait, Roger, I just searched Gallagher age, and I found 76 years old. But
no, but listen,
the corner there. Go ahead. What you were saying,
I think Bobby's observation of him earlier on is spot on. He can play, and I think. I mean, I know you didn't quite agree with Sir Bobby.
Even I still don't agree in the central area right now. That's because when there isn't space, he struggles.
But that's just it, though. Listen, 2 games ago.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying. Here's my argument. He's better off on the flanks. I'm not arguing whether he's a back player.
I agree with you too.
But go ahead.
But I think he's proven that he can receive the ball deep and progress it. He does. You can't say that last year. He never exhibited those qualities last year. This year he has. And I think, I know you didn't quite agree with Bobby, but he's proven he can play at a high level in a double pivot, where at the beginning of the season, a lot of people had doubts that he could. I think he's proven he can. I think he's proven he can play in the cam position. Is he the best in that position? No, he's not. I'm not stating that, but I'm saying he does it at a high level, and then the industry, the way, listen, we've seen what we look like without his energy. This isn't another league. This is a very physical and fast-paced. That's why most people watch the league. It's because of its propensity to go up and down the field, and it defies logic that these players can play at such a high speed for 90 minutes. It's incredible. And he does that. His energy, don't forget there's 3 phases of a game. When you have the ball, when you don't have the ball, and I guess technically when the ball's out of play. Those are the 3 phases. And 2 out of those 3, he's excellent. And if you have a look at his passing, just watch a game and notice what he does with either foot when we have the ball and he's passing. He's improved by leaps and bounds, and that's not because he's English. Yeah. I'm being honest with you. I would critique him.
Here's the saying: in terms of being objective, I trust you. Believe me. You know what? I don't trust you.
But I you know what? I'm not sure. I'm not sure where he comes in to the equation with Chelsea going forward because of the amount of players we have.
I think here's the thing: whatever happens, he stays beyond January.
I think
whatever
that's
happens,
a safe assumption.
but
you know
future,
what?
He's staying beyond January. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, but you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he sold. But I think that's a very minuscule possibility. I don't see that transpiring at all. I just don't.
Yeah, let's pass the mic to those in the chat before I come back to Bobby. Just give me a few minutes. I'll come back to you in a
Yeah,
bit.
of course.
We were going to ban you, but it looks like people want to hear from you. What's going wrong with Abadia, Sheila? Just quickly, I'm going to address that. But every other comment I want to get must be about Conor Gallagher. I can't be going back and forth. Here's the thing. He's still in his preseason. It's as simple as that. He didn't have preseason with us. He was out injured.
Yeah.
He had a long-term
Good point,
injury at
Coach.
the time. He's an excellent player. If you're concerned about him, take your time to do the calculations of the ratio of the good stuff he's done to the mistake he's made. He's actually done well, in my opinion. He's a player I'd always like. A big up all close friends of Richmond. Okay, this that conversation. I'm looking for the Gallagher comments here. I recollect a last presser of Poch, where even he acknowledged that we are very far from where he was supposed to be. So, yeah, similar thing we're hearing right now. Let's see the Gallagher comments. Do Gallagher shots have a power rating, or how many straights at goalkeeper? That's the list of my concerns, really. But let's take away at the aspect of the shots. How about 20 chances created, 20 dribbles completed, 20 touches in the opposition box, 20 duels, 1 tackles, and 20 interceptions? Give him credit for those. But that's just me anyway. Don't take my word for it. Look at the numbers. He's topping nearly, you can say 5, or you can say 4, 5, or at least 4 departments in terms of Chelsea overall player statistics.
Is he really?
Yeah. We've looked at it more than 3 times. Except if someone else has toppled him. So I think Palmer topples him in terms of one department that he was leading before. At least 4. Check it. I think he's stopping. If that has changed, I don't know. But there was a time he was stopping up to 4+. I think so. We cannot lose Gallagher, or this will cause beef with Poch and the owners. Here's the thing: if Poch really wants him, the owners will keep him. But something I've said before that I'm going to say also. And Bobby, when you speak, and Roger, when Bobby is not speaking, I'd like you to talk about that also. Is this the manager, if he really wants Gallagher, he should be upfront about it. Let him not just end his comments about Gallagher with Gallagher being industrious, his energy, the fact that he's come through the Chelsea Academy, yada, yada, yada. Say, we want him to stay. And hopefully the club will strike a deal with him. Not just end it with, it's up to him and the club. No.
He's
if
being
you want
politically
Gallagher, say
correct,
you want
Coach.
Gallagher. Sorry?
Yeah, but
sorry, Roger, what did you say?
Politically correct, Coach.
Yeah.
He is being politically correct, Poch.
Yeah, but other managers don't. If you want to play, you say you want it. Tuchel said he won, Rudy got to stay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he really wants
but
him,
you know
come
what,
out
though?
to say
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to rock the boat yet, obviously.
Maybe, but I think Gallagher says beyond January at least. What happens beyond that time, I don't know. Because if we lose him in January, as bad as you think he is, we're in serious trouble. Because no other player offers what he offers to the team. Our midfielders don't do enough in terms of winning back the ball or protecting the defense. Go ahead. What were you saying, Roger?
Yeah, Coach, it's like Christmas time. Your kids are always super well behaved, because they know they're gonna get better presents. Well, shopping's coming up for him right now. He's on his best behavior.
Oh my goodness! All right, let me catch up. Let me give those in the chat the microphone. Bobby, I'll come to you in a few seconds. Let's see what happens there. We have. I didn't know Bobby was capable of laughter. Bobby laughs, but he enjoys good laughter, good jokes. Yep, and he's into jokes too. Bernardo Silva, let's see. That's why Poch and Gallagher go as a package. Roger, maybe Gallagher is not part of the project planning. Should we keep faith in the project? I think we should, no matter what. And the owners, they signed a 17-year-old yesterday. What does that show you? Yeah, the core of the project remains the same. Yeah, they might mix it up with experience here and there, but they will continue signing young players. And Gallagher is the only player in his position in Europe that has more red cards than goals. That's your own statistics. And here's what I'm going to say to you is this. What? I want to boo this guy. He jinxed it. I wanted to boo you so badly, but The soundboard refused to work. This must be God of Frogs. Let's see what else we have. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. I need to see more of him. The inside channel of the bench. I think you will. No one that the board, the window of the board went off. Conor Gallagher out, please. Okay, let's see what happens. As it is looking, the power that be are running the project and the same power willing to let Gallagher go. To me, everything letting Gallagher go. For me, all horse dung, or everything we've seen on X, especially. Should we have faith in their choices? Yes, then. I don't think they want to let him go. I think the only issue that will lead to him not staying will be if he refuses to put new pen to paper for a new contract with the Chelsea's new contract with the contract construct or format, or maybe for lack of a better language there. I think he stays. Do I think we can do better than him? I'd say yes. But right now, I don't think we can do without him, no matter how you see it, except if you're not paying attention, really. And he can only get better from what I've seen so far. Is he the best midfielder player we have? He offers something different than no other midfielder we have can offer. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Plus, he's been available to play.
Exactly. And hardly gets injured. Yeah, and glad you checked his injury status, and he says, in your own words, literally says no entry. No entry. So availability is a versatility, and I stand by that. And I was happy the first day I heard Monster FC say that. I liked that. Nothing you can say is better than that statement. He is the best pressing defensive player. Yes, I agree. Wow. Coming from Constantine Dante. I'm sure the
gods, they
will
bleed.
hate you. What did you say?
The gods, they bleed.
Yeah, I'm quite sure the beautiful game will hate you. You're no longer the 260 pairing with him. He's gonna hate you. It's lovely. It's lovely jubbly until we lose and the tweakers rise from hell. Oh my goodness. He's a tangle merchant, forward back, cha-cha back. We're getting closer and closer to hell.
That's funny. That's a great one.
Okay, 18 assists. Nobody said that. Nobody said 18 assists. You know that quite well. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along. But seriously, watch all the Chelsea games and the beautiful game. This is for you. I hope it works this time. Oh my goodness, still disappointed. It still didn't work. It will come. I need to boo you. Let's see what else we have here. Anything else? Hazard had won a French league, a Europa League, and was balling in England at 22. But of course, that is Hazard for you. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but JC though.
No, that he contradicted himself in that particular comment. Just leave him. That is Hazard.
No.
Go ahead, Roger. If you had something to say.
Yeah. Listen, you're comparing apples with oranges. First of all, no one's saying that Gallagher is that inherently naturally gifted. He's not. Hazard, for better of a lack of a term, was born with these innate abilities. Second of all, different positions played, but more importantly, Hazard never tracked back. He was a defensive liability. Gallagher's more of an all-round player. Now, if you're asking me who would I prefer right now, Gallagher in his prime, even though he hasn't reached it yet, or Hazard, of course I'm choosing Hazard. That's ridiculous to even compare the two. But I'm saying all around, he's a well-rounded player and he's improving.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Lord Dante, you Gallagher hater. No, I think he's spoken truthful there. Yeah, he's our best pressing player. Roger can put all that in writing and tweet it, please. We need to get as much money for him in January. He's not leaving in January. And I'm going to go to the extent of saying if he leaves in January, I'm going to do a $100 giveaway. If that happens, remind me. Yeah. Remind me.
But then again,
go ahead,
if we have to hypothetically, if it's the only way we can get Osimhen, then I understand the business side of this transaction. I get it. Do I agree with it? Not particularly. or any player, or any elite striker, like a Kane. All of a sudden, if we get Kane into our side and he'll be good for 2 or 3 years, I wouldn't argue that. But do you understand what I'm saying? If it requires selling him to make sure that we're elite, for years to come, then yeah, I would be saddened to see him go, but I would understand why the transaction took place from a fiscal standpoint.
Yeah, here's the thing, JC. You know fully well this is a question that even a 2-year-old will answer. But we have a lot to go through. I'm going to highlight this. If we have time enough, we'll try to address that, because going back and forth, we actually haven't gotten to the preview proper. No progressive passes, only back passes from who? But of course, if it means we need to sell Gallagher in order to buy Osimhen, then I'm all in for it. I think Roger probably says something similar. I can't quite say whether he agrees to that entirely, for lack of a better language there. He did improve last season. He would turn the ball over more. Coach, that was a great tapping in also there. So just much love to you, JC.
You
just
did it all.
Yeah, he's always on my case every time. Just me. In overall, I don't like our midfield, even if some people say that we are secure for next 10 years. I think we are, but they need time. Yes, people having a good conversation there. I'm going to try to scroll to the very bottom. All right, Bobby, let's hear you. Conor Gallagher, this starts. What do you make of it? What does that tell you? Let's hear you.
Preach, Bobby, preach.
Is he gone? He's gonna hit his phone if its microphone refuses to unmute, because we were gonna ban him from speaking for this. All right, I'm gonna continue getting a few of the comments we have. With those in the chat, they have the microphone right now. If any, Poch can still have Gallagher. Both of them will do well at Burnley. I think Poch stays to the end of the season at least. Poch. It's a yes, man. What do you expect him to say? You know where that's going, Roger. All right. If I've gotten your comment, I'm gonna skip a few of your comment. But there's no cajones. Roger. Thank you for teaching me how to pronounce that the other day. That's Spanish for you if you don't understand, Coach. Roger taught me what that means. Actually, I figured out what that means. Roger taught me the pronunciation, and I figured out what that means. Gallagher is the reason why we have to win back the ball. Okay, that's a good one too. I'm not sure how you want me to rate it, but I'm reading it how I deem fit. I understand what you mean there. I need more progressive passes from Gallagher. I think he's done that of late. He's supposed to get the ball up the field, not pass back to the defense. He doesn't actually pass back that much.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, look at his progressive passes compared to Casado R6. Okay, let's see what else we have here. You are a fraud. Go away. Mapin Walilo says for the Gallagher in a political was back. Okay. Whatever you mean to say there, I try to understand. I didn't mean to just you can say what's the language I'm looking for? We will cash in 60 to 70 million on him after all this conversation. Everyone on social media, keep up the good work. I don't think he goes in January. I'm just going to leave it at that, because he will create a whole lot of issues for us. And I'm sure the owners are paying attention. You'd be shocked, but actually by January, he signs a new contract. A soundboard failure. Yep, witch hunt from the Bluetooth game. Coach, I tried to delete the Dante comment, but I fluffed my lines in the Gallagher style. Just go away. Where's Bobby? Looks like Bobby left his desk. Bobby, if you're there, whenever you want to come in, I'm waiting for you. Talk
Come
of
on,
the
Bobby.
Oranges. I love oranges. Okay, Bobby, you go ahead.
I'm here. I was just being polite and waiting to be invited to speak.
No, you can always come in. Once we call you in, come in, brother. With those in the chat, they've had enough of the microphone. It's your turn now to speak. You've seen the stats on the screen. You want me to read it out for you again, or you're good?
Was this about Conor or our team in
Conor
general?
Gallagher. This says Conor Gallagher is the only player in Europe's Big 5 leagues this season with 20 plus shots, 20 plus chances created, 20 plus dribbles completed, 20 plus touches in the opposition box, 20 plus duels won, 20 plus tackles, and 20 plus interceptions. So let's hear you.
You know, as I've said on countless occasions, every successful team needs its functional players. There's always that two or three, especially winning the Premier League. There's always that two or three sort of very, they may not be the best technically, but they will give you everything in terms of their heart, in terms of their fight, in terms of their running, in terms of their sheer endeavor. And you cannot be a successful team with longevity without these players. Sometimes you're blessed to have these players who are also very technical. Like at the moment, Man City have Rodri. He has he's very technical, also very physical, also very industrious on the field, and he embraces all those things. But sometimes they're not as technically gifted, but they galvanize the team. They drive the team forward. They are the people that wear the armband successfully. They are your Aspilaquetas of this world. They are your Jordan Hendersons of this world in his time. They are those of us that can go back further. You think of the AC Milan team in the 80s and uh, um, what's his name? Oh gosh, uh, Gattuso. Gattuso, you know that he was a terrier in midfield. You think of the Brazilian teams of the 80s, or the early 90s, or thereabouts, or mid 90s. Dunga, he wasn't of such a team. He wasn't particularly the most technically gifted, but boy, was he functional. The list goes on and on and on. What blurs the lines is sometimes these industrious players are equally technical, and then you then have an exceptional team. I'll never forget Arsenal with their Gilberto Silva. I mean, boy, he was technical. He was very industrious as well. And, that is rare. But when you have them both, you then become this special thing. Conor Gallagher is that player. To me, he is very, very integral to the new Chelsea. He has to be there. He has to, at the very least, be the vice captain. Now, I think making Reece James captain um, was the right choice, because though they are the same age, there's a little bit of seniority there in Reece James, in that Reece James was with the Champions League winning team, and he's been longer in the Chelsea first team setup, although they both came through the academy at roughly around the same time. But Connor has to be our vice captain. I don't care what Reece Ben Chilwell does, whether he feels disrespected or whatever. I don't care. To me, Connor is the man. He is the fighter. He is that. Pochettino said it himself. He said, "Look, after the Palace game, when he was being interviewed by Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank and the other broad, I've forgotten her name now. But he
Oh yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
he was saying that the thing he needs to get into these youngsters, because a lot of them are new, a lot of them are from outside the country, a lot of them are from different leagues. You have to get into them the fight. In the Premier League, you fight first, and then you can play. You fight for the right to play.
It's a
Let
party.
me put it that way. You fight for the right to play. I'll never forget, one of those Mourinho exploits. To me, a game that stuck out most in my mind when we won the Premier League again for the first time after a 55-year break from winning the Premier League, winning the league, as it were, was the big game that stuck in my mind was Blackburn away. That was a fight. That was a fight in which Maquena broke the metatarsal of Robin, Iron Robin. You know, it was brutal. It really was. That the game that at the end the Chelsea players took off their shirts and threw it to the crowd to let them know, right, you want to play football, we'll play football with you. But you want to fight, we're here. And boy, did we have the people to fight with. I mean, you have a team with Terry, Drogba, uh, um, I mean, they were all fighters, every single one of them. SCN, even the guy that used to partner Terry a lot in defense, the Portuguese chap. Oh gosh, what's his name,
Carvalho.
please?
Yeah,
Carvalho.
Gallagher.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
now he wasn't the biggest, but Carvalho was a tough guy. You know, he was. You see, you need that in the Premier League. You need that to a large extent, even in Europe. Connor is crucial. Connor is crucial. And the person that came on and underlined that point, believe it or not, is young Alfie Gilchrist. You know, he came on and showed that, look, at the end of the day, yes, yeah, you know, we all feel for him because he's come through our academy and his whole family are Chelsea. He's Chelsea. I think he was born not too far away from the stadium itself. But you know, you look at that and all he said was, look, I may not be the Maradonas and the Messis of this world, but when you come to Stamford Bridge, you're going to get heart, you're going to get battle, you're going to get people that are ready to put their face in front of a ball to block it from coming into the into our goal. You know, the John Terrys of this world that would be kicked in the head for Chelsea Football Club. This is what we are. We've had them all our generations. Is it Ron Harris? Chopper Harris at the back, that you would kick a ball, and he was one of those that you're putting up a wall for a free kick. He doesn't cover his front jewels. He doesn't. He just out. Although you know, I'm not saying take one there, but you know what I mean. He would, you know, he would just stand there. You know, he and the people like Graham Souness in his time, they would just stand there. They took everything for the club. David Webb, you know, we've had them all our history. We had a guy called Haitley. We've had, gosh, I can just keep reeling them off my tongue. It's just that as I'm getting older, sometimes there's so many names to remember. It just all gets jumbled up in my head. And I tend to forget some when I'm on the spot. But generally, you know what I mean. We have had to have fighters. You know, I remember little diminutive Dennis Wise. It's not always those with excessive physicality, but boy, you've got to be strong, you've got to be tough, you've got to be tenacious. And that was Dennis Wise. We look at Eden Hazard. People forget all his quality. Eden Hazard was one mean dude. I mean, I continue to share my personal pitch side experience of watching a player receive some brutal tackles. I mean, I would just wince when I see how they will crunch into, and it was always his ankles,
Yeah.
always his ankles, always his ankles. I'll never forget that game. Eden would stand up, his ankles were bleeding, his socks were torn from all the stud raking down the back of his legs. And the one thing I always admired of him, because personally, you do that to me, and you know, if I can get on my feet, I will lay you out. I will, oh gosh, I will smash you in the face. But Reedon, no. He would shrug his shoulders, smile, and he would get on with it. He was one tough guy. And sadly, you know, he's also human. That, you know, as strong and as tough as he was, you know, there's a number of times you'd be kicked and kicked and kicked and kicked and kicked. As you get older, it takes its toll. And unfortunately, when he went to his dream move in Real Madrid, the Premier League, where referees vis-a-vis your Mike Deans of this world, who are there to protect players, they did not. They allowed it to happen. They wanted him to be hurt so he wouldn't play for Chelsea. And eventually it affected him when he got his move to Real Madrid. He couldn't, his ankles just went one or two more extra kicks and he was gone. And so, Conor Gallagher is priceless to us. I've watched him carefully, as you all know. I've watched this guy, and I watched him even when we were bad, very bad last season, very jumbled up, very confused. Connor showed something extra. Even in his worst games, he was just a kid that was not being developed by the managers that were there to develop him. He seemed to me, I remember once on your platform, uh, um, Coach, I highlighted the fact that, look, I was all for Mason Mount, but I said, look, this guy is going to be more to us than Mason Mount because he has just that bit more. He's a goal scorer. He's just that I don't know, just that little bit more sort of quality in terms of his all-round game. And he's showing it. Connor can only get better. Will he ever be your Zinedine Zidane's? No. But will he be that player that will be lifting the major trophies like your Cesar Azpilicuetas and John Terry's? Absolutely. I'm Conor Gallagher 100%. And long may he stay in this club. That's all I've got to
All right,
say
thank
about
you
it.
so much,
Do you think he
Robbie.
will stay though?
Yes.
Beyond January
Okay.
at least. Beyond that, I don't know what's going to happen. Let's just leave it at that. That's how
I,
I see it.
I don't think
That's
he'll
just my
go.
opinion. But go ahead, Bobby.
I don't think he'll leave. My only concern is in this day and age, with the pressure of people offering big wages, that might be the issue because he's earned his wages. But for me, I would cross the 100K a week mark for him. I really would. The problem, it might be a problem in the dressing room with the others of his peers, that might be why the club might let him go because these guys aren't messing around. They will set the mark. If you don't want it, you're gone. That could be the issue. But if he's prepared to say, okay, I know he wants to be at Chelsea, and if he doesn't allow his father and his family to influence him, and he goes through the Chelsea wage structure, then I'm 100% certain. But that's the only threat at the moment, and I think we would either have to push him on that 100K a week button. I know he's earning nowhere near that, or maybe cross it a little bit. But if people are talking 250 to 300K, like is somewhat being rumored, then I don't see him staying, which would be very, very sad. It will leave me with a heavy heart, even heavier a heart than when I saw Ruben
Yeah.
Loftus-Cheek.
That's one player that, if anything, I'm not happy he left Chelsea because I know
Ditto.
that's a good player in him. And the managers didn't help his case. But that's by the way, I'm moving on. He's doing well at Milan, and I'm happy for him. And I will not even rule out him coming back to Chelsea someday. In what capacity? I don't know. So breaking news here: Mauricio Pochettino confirmed that Mykhailo Mudryk needs to be assessed ahead of tomorrow's game after he limped off during the second half of our victory over Crystal Palace. I think probably the manager has found an excuse to bench him because what happened? I think he was notched off the pitch and he fell off the pitch and maybe hit something. I think he'll be fine. But yeah, that the manager now has an excuse to bench him. Romeo Lavia, the manager also says he has an issue, slight issue. They're concerned. Hopefully, it's not that bad. I still don't think it's that bad. That's because he finished the game. But that's, by the way, we're getting to the very bottom because we need to switch topic as soon as
Coach
possible.
Modric wanted to come off. He
wanted to come off?
tackled. Well, he was tackled and
After
his
that rough
ankle
tackle,
twisted.
right?
Yeah, and he was flagging for them, that exhibiting pain. And when the player has his arm up like that, he's asking you to take him off. Now, it could be for different reasons. He could be, look, I don't want to aggravate the injury further, or, I'll be no use with this on the pitch. It's too much. I don't know, but he did want to get to come off. And I'm not sure it's really fair. I think Poch, yes, he's made some silly errors. He has, and he will continue. As I always give the example of the fact that, look, Pep Guardiola, who arguably at the moment is perhaps the best manager in the world, boy, he's dropped some clangers all through his career. Not least to mention one that one could argue cost his team a Champions League final.
Exactly.
These managers will make mistakes. But rotating players, in my view, is never a mistake. And
No,
because
it's
of the
not a
way,
mistake. I'm just saying
be-
that the fact that there is what we call a comma with regards to who his fitness. I think the manager will most likely drop him
yeah, he
because
he will, and that will be what he will face all his career because of the way he plays. He's this explosive player, diminutive player, and you can't keep such play. It's rare to have the Eden Hazards of this world. And
Mm.
indeed, even Eden Hazard in the earlier part of his career, he was rotated a lot. These types of players often are and will continue to be rotated in any successful team, and that's going to be the lot of Mudryk. It even happens in his national team. People would like to believe it doesn't, but it does. They pull him off quite often.
Yep. Let me finish with the Gallagher discussion with those in the chat. Give them back the microphone. But quickly, I want to say, please let's develop the habit of welcoming new members. Pay attention. Some Dropkick Pro. I don't know. Remember seeing you here? Yeah, I could be wrong. Maybe you're not a frequent participant. But Gallagher is passionate about the club, and we really cannot buy that. That's not something money can always buy. It takes a lot. Pochettino on Romeo Lavia, just quickly. We are a little bit worried, but if you watch the game against Crystal Palace, I had to let me see what we have here. Against Crystal Palace, I had to change his position with Connor. Okay. We need to check and hope it's not too bad. I don't think it's too bad because he finished the game. Yep, money cannot buy that. And who are the backbenchers here? I think the leaders are Dante and Houston. If this is your first time here, welcome to the Just Perspective community. Fill at home, express yourself. Hear your opinion matters. Always ask of you just to keep it civil. We've read that one in my just go with. That's gonna be a red for who? Just go away. Two of you are getting closer and closer to hell, and the gates are already open for you. Michael Zakaria cannot believe this Chelsea FC. Where's the standards? But Zakaria, nice to see you. More importantly, I hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding time to join the show. Fill out home, express yourself. Just keep it civil. With 11 Gallagher's, you can win the passion, desire, and energy and trophy. And Chelsea, all the way nice to see you. Heston, passion matches. Okay, if that's what you feel. These player in this generation are playing just for the sake of playing, best not playing for the passion of soccer. I believe they get paid a lot of money. You still believing they get paid a lot of money? Let's see. I'm gonna move to the next item we have lined up. No Misha. Yep. Probably not gonna play tomorrow. Who will Bobby drop if Enzo, Casado, Lavia, and Gallagher are all 100%? Let me answer that question this way. Gallagher was on the pitch, and I'm quite sure Gallagher isn't anything close to the way Enzo plays. If anything, people were saying once Lavia is fit, he's going to get dropped. Let's start by saying what the manager is doing. The fact that Pochettino hardly drops Gallagher, even when he plays a game and plays a bit badly and comes across as if he's tired. He needs to rest. The manager still plays him the next game. Let that tell you what happens. I'm gonna do a ground poll and issue Bobby 3 yellow cards. Starling left wing most likely. I think we're gonna see that. Todd Ball in next Glazers. I don't think so. Better Glazers, in my opinion, they have better plans, but we all cannot see it the same. Gusto is quality, definitely. Coachella, the scientists in charge of team fitness issues is Pochettino Jr. The two areas where team has suffered this season: results and fitness. Wow. Okay. Chelsea are finished. Don't have winners anymore. Imagine going from Conte, Sarri, Mourinho, Tuchel to that front. Wow. If that's how you feel, stick with it. OMG is true. Makes sense. His son is in charge too. that aspect I don't like. And I don't want to use the language that comes to mind. The fact that his son is really his assistant. I need to find out what role he plays there. Caution for excessive use of the word. We're moving on to the next. Coach, gonna do a lot of skipping comments. Yeah, quite a lot to get to the very bottom so we can move on. And I'm gonna do that right now. Poch would drop Petrovic just to accommodate Gallagher. Just go away. But that's a statement, though. I think that statement shows that he understands what I was saying, Roger. That the
for
Poch
sure.
likes him. Yeah, he's very important to him. So I'm glad you understand that. At least go with that, and you can say rest your energy. Don't waste too much of your energy. Colwell should be benched. As left back, if we have another left back, I say but maybe give Ian Matson an opportunity there. And I'm quite sure Bally entered the dressing room and told Starling to perform to his price tag for the next game. I'm quite sure he's capable of doing that, given what I've learned. And I'm quite sure that's Briani Yahayu, aka 343 Dilemma, aka this one I'm missing, Jackson the FC, Vivella FC, and now Todd. Nice to see you, brother, and this is for you. It won't work. The soundboard will not work. I think the Bluetooth again jinxed it because I wanted to boo him. But that's by the way. Nice to see you again, brother. I hope you enjoyed your holiday. I hope the cases that you've been busy and nothing wrong has happened on your end. Nothing bad. Poch will keep dropping players until he gets dropped. Maybe Gallagher is your Scott McTominay, unstoppable even when crap. Wow, I think I agree with that. Even how it comes across. To be honest, I don't understand Ian Matson's agenda on social media. Sounds like copy paste from big toxic accounts, possibly. I think he's a good player, and those that are saying he's a bad player, let's start by saying give him game time. I didn't expect him to come into that game and be perfect. That's because there's something called somebody being match rusty, in my opinion. We move on to the next item. I want us to get to the match preview as soon as possible. The show has been going on, even though I'm very energetic. Before I slept a lot because I slept a lot yesterday. I still have a lot to do today. Let's go. This one. Let's just go to this one here. And where's the one I'm looking for? There you go. So this Chelsea fan here, OGB is his name, said happy birthday to Victor Osimhen. Please come and rescue Chelsea soon. That's Osimhen responding with praying hands and 2 heart emojis. I'm not sure. This is open to interpretation. You can interpret it to he wants to come to Chelsea. I would say if that's really him, then yeah, maybe we're talking with him already, and he's hoping that the deal goes through. Through. Roger, let's hear you. You have anything to say with that?
Yeah, it's possible. It could just be posturing also. You know, one doesn't know. So until I see the club announcing it, no comment. It's that simple.
I'd be shocked if you say anything else. So, Bobby, you have anything to say to that? Osimhen heart emoji and praying hands. Or maybe it's just him knowing that Chelsea fans want him. So he just want to, you can say, get us excited and nothing beyond what we're reading on the screen there. But let's hear you, Bobby. You have anything to add to that?
Sorry, Coach. Where are we? Who are we talking about now? Sorry.
So a Chelsea fan, OGB. I don't know whether he's friends with Osimhen. He says, "Osimhen, please come to Chelsea to rescue us." And Osimhen responded with 2 heart emojis and praying hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
let the conspiracy begin.
Well, it's nice to see. I think experience has taught us that there's no smoke without fire when these things are this explicit. We saw it with Caicedo. I think we saw it with even Lavia at one point. These players talk to each other. That is clear.
Yeah.
And I reiterate, you know, when I listen to the OB1 podcast, which I'm a fan of, I've seen some very interesting Chelsea-related material there. And Mykhailo, you cannot underestimate the influence and the leadership and the magnitude of some of the players we've had at Chelsea. Now, you can tell me better, but I've seen that Mikel is huge in Nigeria, and he has a lot of respect. He was, I believe, a captain of the national team. He went through their youth system along with people like Kanu, and Osimhen respects this sort of fella. The other African players from other African countries, Drogba, Essien, they all have huge respect for each other. Now, these guys are in his ear. It's not Chelsea tapping him up. It's these guys tapping him up. And if you can call it that. And he's going to listen to them. And I think it's not everything, but I think it's going to be a huge factor in him coming to Chelsea. Just like Eden Hazard was a massive factor in persuading Lavia, talking to Lavia. Caicedo, the whole Enzo thing, the South American thing, and of course, you can't take away the influence of people like Joe Shields, who was certainly Lavia's coach, and indeed was who was it that came from Brighton? Is it Lawrence Stewart, or is it Ethan Paul Winstanley? I mean, they all knew Caicedo, and probably was involved in bringing him from South America in the first place. So it's those links are not negligible. And if Osimhen comes, I would give a considerable amount of the credit and the groundworking to these other influences. And if I was Chelsea, I will continue to encourage these other influences because they can bring in some players for you, and they will gladly do it because they want to see us successful. So it's nice to see, but at the end of the day, we just have to wait and see.
Yeah, but I agree with you. We just have to wait and see. There are a lot of other factors to consider whether Chelsea are willing to pay Osimhen's asking price, and also whether they are even actually interested in signing him. You never know. But until it happens, nowhere to tell. But thank you for that, Roger. Beat out because of Broya. And let's see what else we have here. If we get Osimhen, Bali stays out of the dressing room, and Poch stop tinkering. We get top four. We've heard that Bali actually he stayed away from the club for a while now, and he stays in the United States. You can say at what's the name I'm looking the language I'm looking for. Taking care of other businesses he's involved in. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Anything else to address? If we get Osimhen in January, this team should be expected to win at least 15 games in the remaining part of the season. Maybe not realistic, but that's a real potential. You can say that Kachila choose between 11 Messis and 11 James Milners. I will go with 11 James Milners because out of Messi you can't get defenders, but Milner can do a lot more. So if that makes sense. You cannot win with 11 messes, but you can win with 11. It'd be difficult to win with 11 messes, but you can win with 11 James Milner. So you can get two center backs, their left back, right back, two midfielders, and capable of scoring too, in my opinion. I prefer Gallagher over McTominay. At least he can compete and pass. Let's see. Keep driving the likes on the stream. Yes, JC Gallagher will assist on another 18 goals. I don't know about Gallagher, but Jackson surely is in back books of many assist providers. Mudryk surely would have a few more assists if Jackson was killing. Killing it. Mykhailo is after Kano's time. But you get the argument there. I don't understand that this Jackson criticism. The guy costs 25 million and has 9 goals in the Premier League. I respect him for that. We just expect him to do better. And it's not void of. We critique players. That's what we do as fans. Only Starling doesn't like assists. All the rest unhappy with Jackson finishing. Starling wants to finish himself. Starling, I've always known him to be selfish, except when he plays at Man City. He was playing at Man City. It's just a rumor. Victor Osimhen is not coming to Chelsea FC. Please, he signed a new contract. Are you paying attention to the contract at all? It has a release clause. Yeah, and the contract was more of him signing what Adebayo Makunji called a loyalty contract, not just because he wants to stay. I think it's just them ensuring that they get a sizable fee whenever they sell him. He has a 130, 140 million release clause of euros, which is a bit less than we paid for. What's his name? We paid for Moses Casado. Actually, I think
Coach, can I?
the equivalent in pounds is 112 million pounds. Just 1 second, Bobby.
Yeah.
We acquire the great of Victor Osimhen in January. Then 4 goals plus. We will be scoring in every match, but can our defense be solid? I don't know. But Bobby, go ahead with what you wanted to say.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to this. I think that Osimhen contract extension, to me, is an indicator of not only is it a loyalty contract, but it shows that Napoli want to sell him, and they want to sell him either January or preferably this summer. They won't want to wait after that, because after that his value goes down again. Yes, there's that release clause up until 2026. Yes, that's true. But after that, he will. They lose that impetus. In that, if they sell him in the summer fresh with this release clause, the release clause could be honoured and some. But if it starts to wind down the clock, people will start to negotiate the release clause with things like, oh, well, if it gets to late 25, going on to 26 now, it will be a matter of, well, do we really want to pay you the release clause when his contract's up in a couple of months? Do you see what I'm saying? They don't want to have that conversation. So they would ideally like to do this in the summer. So Victor, I believe, will be sold by summer by Napoli.
Here's where the problem lies. The Saudis will come back for him.
Oh yeah, they will be in the mix, and I've said that before. That's my concern, the wage issue. Because
but go ahead, Bobby.
Everybody has the clause that they'll perhaps be willing to break, but then the competition will come in the wages. Some people might overstretch the buyout clause. The Saudis might do that, thinking it will give themselves a bigger a bigger steal in the whole thing, because Napoli will certainly listen to more money, but they will try and tempt him with the balance with wages. Will he accept it or not? I don't know. Victor came from poverty and he's done so well. There's a certain amount of money. I'm not saying money is his motivation. He's still a young guy, but you give someone barn door type of money, as I call it, they may buckle because they'll think of their family, just like Oscar. When the Chinese came knocking and they gave Oscar money that he knew he
had
could
to.
take, yeah, he could take care of his family and his extended family back in Brazil for generations. He would take them
That's it.
forever out of poverty. I mean, that's a hard thing to say no to.
Generational wealth, right?
Oh yeah.
Wealth, yep.
Oh yeah. If you ever watch those videos on YouTube about Victor Osimhen, he was a sort of street hawker. He used to sell water on the street, I think, something like that. He was a kid that he had no shoes. He came from nothing, and you can imagine all his relatives that were, and he can lift them all out of poverty. Whoa, that's going to be a hard no. That's going to be a hard thing to turn down. Do you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a hard. That's my concern.
And I respect that.
The wages. Oh, of course, you have to respect that.
Yeah.
You have
It's
to
business
respect.
for everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it just so happens their office
whatever
is their
decision
body.
the kid makes,
Yeah.
whatever decision that boy makes, you have to respect it. Honestly, if he goes to Saudi for stupendous money, I'll be good luck, mate. You've earned it, and you've done yourself
Yep.
and your people proud. So we wait and see. It's like Salah. No way are Liverpool holding on to Salah. No
He's
way.
going.
He's
Well,
gone
look
by
at
the summer
Jordan
it's gone.
Henderson, Bobby. Do you know how
Yeah.
much Jordan Henderson's getting a week?
Yeah,
700,000.
Well, there you go, and I would hardly put him in the same bracket as somebody coming from the developing world, but he's looking to perhaps put most of that in his pocket and his children's pocket. But these people, your Oscars of this world, your Mo Salahs of this world, your Osimhens of this world, the money isn't about just them. The money is about the community from where they came from. And I have
Or you could say their
every,
responsibility, so you
yeah.
say maybe probably the hope of his entire clan, actually, in
Yeah.
most cases. I've been there.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll
He could
tell you, as an
sponsor a
African, as
village.
somebody born in Africa, sometimes I'll turn my phone off for 3 days. That I'm not going to go beyond that, but that tells you a lot, and especially somebody that has made it. And the traditional common family in Africa, especially because he's Nigerian, is when you make it, a lot of people, nearly the whole town is your responsibility in so many ways.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Bobby. I'll let you drop so we can move on and start looking at the game.
Yeah, the last thing I've got to say about that is that you've got to respect that. You know, look at what SCN did. He went back to Ghana. He brought Mourinho with him, and he sponsored a lot of things. You know, Drogba building hospitals in Ivory Coast. You
Yeah,
can't take the,
Carlos Heart Foundation.
foundation.
Mikael has one,
George
two, all those things. Yeah.
George Weah, you know, becoming the actual president of Liberia. I have absolute respect for that because, you know, the world has a lot of people that are deprived. And if you've made your mark and you've helped people, to me, you know, you're right up there. Respect. So if
Yeah.
that kid
Yeah.
takes money to Saudi, respect.
Good luck to
Full
him.
stop. Yeah.
I'm going to see the way I see Nkante's move to Saudi Arabia. Well-deserved move. He suffered a lot in football. His security should be his securing his future should be his priority. And congratulations to him, Victor Odera, Chukwu Odera, Odima, whatever the abbreviation there, but I know that name. Leao coming also, or Madueke coming to Milan. I don't see Leao coming to Chelsea. You know,
No.
it will cost a lot. If we score 4+, like you say, our defense is enough. I think we can actually defend that. Looks like owners realize their mistakes. I hope so. If Ball sells Gallagher, he will be more ruthless than Roman. Let's see what happens. There's a rumor of a straight swap Lukaku and Vlahovic. Has that emerged again? There were rumors also a month ago saying that Lukaku is signed with a Saudi Arabian club.
Can we
I'm not sure what to believe there. Sorry?
Can we underline this Gallagher selling issue? I have to say that I am 100% convinced that the only reason Chelsea will sell Conor Gallagher is if he asks for excessive wages beyond their current attempts to create a wage structure. That is the only thing that will go against him. But as it stands now, I think both he and the club are very, very keen to extend his contract. And I hope it happens. I really hope and pray that he doesn't ask for these wages that will leave the club with no choice other than to stick to their guns. And you can't blame them for that.
All right, thank you. Let's let's round off with that topic and move on. Osimhen was not available, now he's available. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Saudis might come back. They were the ones that wanted to pay, I think, 100 million euros plus, and he didn't want to go. And I think Napoli rejected that. Roman should be the standard. Get this ball. Roman wasn't in it for profit, and these new owners, even though they've spent quite a lot, even actually I think if they have the opportunity to spend more than Roman did, if you're paying attention, they want him to sell in the summer, but Chelsea will break it in the winter. Feel like we did with Enzo, because in the summer, okay, his price will increase or something. And O'Day, as Victor saying, Chelsea should try to keep Conor Gallagher for that attacking midfield. I think Chelsea will keep him for what role? I don't know. Why aren't fans counting the number of assists Jackson could have gotten if other players were finishing? You cannot have it both ways. I think we've talked about that. I did mention he created 2 excellent chances, one for Nkunku, one for Mykhailo Mudryk. So yeah, both ways he's missed, and he created a few and people missed it. Yes, but Osimhen has made it clear he doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia. Did he really? Okay. If he said that he's on 130K a week, we can pay him better, I believe. Osimhen swap for Gallagher, Madsen. I'm not going to even get to that conversation. And I think we have a newcomer here, Mudryk Ready. While that, nice to see you. Mudryk could play, but you could say the fact that the manager is saying he will be assessed means on Raheem Sterling starts in that position. Plus, we need to rotate, but I would have loved him to play, but I don't think he plays. We're going to move on. So apologies if I miss your comments, but I'll try the best I can to get your subsequent contributions in the chat. We move on, which is we get to this. So here's their predicted lineup for Chelsea. Fortnum's predicted lineup. Probably they waited until the manager's presser. They have Petrovic centrally. They have Silva. Okay. They have Silva and Badia Shile, 2 center backs. Gusto left back. Disasi right back. Conor Gallagher was one of the 6s, and Casado 10. Palmer right wing. Sterling left wing. Mykhailo Mudryk and 9. Broja. I don't agree with this predicted lineup. I think Jackson starts. Broja is showing improvement. He's showing improvement, and he needs more game time to get there. I think he will get there. He has space, and I think he deals with the ball better when the ball comes out. It's not on the carpet. If you found him with the ball in the air, I think he does well better than Jackson in that aspect. Shocking, right? But we move on. Let's come to this guy now. Let's go with 4-2-3-1. The structure we know he goes with 4-2-3-1 structure there. So let's go like this. And we know the application most likely different because we've seen a lot. 4-2-3-1. So I'm going to change the color to blue before Rashi starts celebrating, feeling like it's a Manchester United stream. It's a Chelsea stream. So let's go. The color is blue and white. I'm never going to forget that. And CFC Gavin is in the house. Yes, he said he didn't want to go there. Unfinished business in Europe. Okay, maybe he wants to win the Champions League, and he's still very young. He still go there. And thank you, Gavin. Please go check out Gavin's YouTube channel. Let's help him get a lot more subscribers. He deserves that. Broja showed improvement. He learned to control the ball. Yeah. Plus, once the ball is not on the carpet, I think he does better than Jackson. Let's go with that. Broja is not bad. It's bad. Chelsea fans make out he's been unlucky with his injury. Yep, and we all know that. So, Roger, as usual, I'm going to start with you. You know me. I don't like you guys to suffer at all. I took my time, did some research, analysis, and come to the conclusion Petrovic will start as the goalkeeper. So don't worry. Don't rack your brain over that. Yeah, the back four, Roger. And by the way, the poll that asks the question, what should Chelsea do? 28% says sell Gallagher. 72% said keep Gallagher. It's not even close. That's a landslide.
Wow.
That's the language I learned from election results. What the heck was I going to say? But let's see.
Yes, that's good to see. That's good to see. You know, I'm glad he's
let's hear
getting
you,
his
Roger.
recognition.
You're back for. If need be, we'll use the poll. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming Gusto is healthy enough to start. If that's the case, then
Gusto is ready, and I think we cannot do otherwise.
Then the only question is, does he start at left back or right back?
Have you ever seen any situation where Colwell is fit and he's not starting? So that has led to people arguing that maybe he has some sort of clause on his contract that says he must start as long as he's fit. I don't know whether that is possible.
I personally think that Poch is going to go with the same starting. Well, he's going to choose, realistically, it's going to be Colwell, Badiashile.
So you think Colwell starts in the left back position?
I'm sorry. Let me start again. Yeah, Colwell on the left. I think Disasi, Thiago Silva and Gusto. But if Gusto isn't started at the right back, I can see Disasi playing there, and then you're looking at Gusto on the left.
There's a chance, actually. I know Silva starts because he didn't start the other game, right? So we agree he starts.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's the sound logic because he didn't start, and he obviously prefers him. I honestly think that he may choose to start him at left back because he did very well.
Do you think we by any chance will see Gilchrist? Not too sure.
I would no, but I would, because it's an away game, isn't it? Yeah, that's a very tough ground to play at. I'd probably no. If anything, he'll come on as a sub if required. He's too young. But you know what though? I would love to see it, but it's not going to happen. He's too green.
Yep, I agree with you. So your back four, I think I agree.
Yeah.
This is the back four we'll see.
Or
I think
as I
yeah.
said, or you put Gusto on the left and you add Baddy. Yeah, that's what I would do. And Badiashile maybe in the mix instead of
Mhm.
Colwell. That's the only two scenarios I see based on availability of players, obviously.
Yep, that's good to mention. Blue is the caller. Tiger Beast, nice to see you. I hope you're enjoying your work. Funny viral nonsense is what's our target from now to the end of the season. Just win as many games as possible. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Maybe finish 8th and win the cup. Possibly, I don't know. I don't have a target. I just want us to win as many games as possible. No, Jackson, please, please. I cannot take it anymore with Jackson. I think he did well enough yesterday, and I think the manager will keep playing in him. As we've seen from managers trying to play players into form. He's done everything else correct except be clinical. He's a good hold-up player from what we've seen. The poll is rigged. Coach is going to have for corruption. Just oh my goodness, what has happened to my soundboard? I've tried the best I can to boo you. It's not happening. I'm not sure what has happened to the other system. Maybe it started updating because I didn't touch it for a while. Let's see what else we have here. Jackson will 100% start. Yep, that's for sure. Starling will scare Luton. It's the fans and Palmer. Let's see what happens there. Colwell, the Sassy, Badiashile, Gusto. I want Matson, but it's Poch. It's not going to happen. Yep, I'd rather Matson start in the left back position. I think he will pay. He will not. We won't see that risk of him drifting inwards because traditionally, yeah, he's a left back, not a centre back. You're right, coach. Always votes more times as a head editor to make the poll rigged. I'm not. You two are going to hell. Gallagher got a lot of advertisement right now, coach. No wonder your poll is a surprise. Yeah, I know you're joining them in hell. No Jackson. I think Jackson starts. Rest Nkunku for playing how many games for the bench to come on and score when the Luton players are tired. No, I think he starts. At 300 million pounds per day lie. Let's see what else we have here. It's been 6 games since Starling played, so he's due for a performance. I guess that's what you're trying to say there. So maybe not starting, maybe last few games. Let's see. Chelsea have right back position on lock for next decade. I agree. If Reece James can stay fit. We need to watch a set piece, please, which you argue why Colwell will start. And I'm still not sure about how good Colwell is there, really, but that's just my opinion anyway. Let's see what else we have here. Colwell, Badiashile, Desasi, Gusto. I think that will be the most likely starting 11. Coach, the soundboard won't work. It must be the heat down there. That's a good one. He's telling me that I'm already in hell. Okay. Silva shouldn't be starting games. Even Ramirez is urging him to return home and not tarnish his reputation. But he has to finish the season. And he hasn't been that bad. Yeah, none of our, like Roger have said, none of our players this season has been spotless. They all have their moments. And for me, he's made the least mistakes. But one thing is sure, whenever he's on the pitch, the manager has to find a way to get the midfielders to play in a manner that will, should I say, mitigate or curtail Thiago Silva's mistakes, or for lack of pace and whatever comes to mind given his age. But yeah, he's the best we can do it right now. And if he's well rested, I think he starts. Roger, Bobby, let's hear you back four. Who do you think the manager starts?
I think we have to start with the same back four as we did with Palace. I would like to see more bench appearances for Thiago Silva. I felt against Palace, he came on, he sprayed a few good passes, but he was responsible for losing the ball at critical times as well, which is all a sign of the age slowly coming in. And, I'm of the ilk that I don't want a memory of him not playing well. Like what happened to Ivanovic, what happened to Aspi. we kind of held on too long, and by the time they should have gone at their optimal rather than at their decline. And I don't want us to be seeing the decline of such a great player, like we're
Yeah, I
beginning
don't
to
want it to end
witness.
badly.
No, no, not at all. So he can be coming off the bench. Desassi and Badiashile have got to do it. They've got to rehearse a position that they've done together before. So it shouldn't take them time. Badiashile needs to take out the clumsiness from his game and he'll be fine. I think it is clumsiness related to match rustiness rather than clumsiness related to inability. And I think he'll be fine. I was a little bit concerned that he didn't look like he fancied the challenge of Crystal Palace. Is it Mateto, whatever that guy, the big guy. That was
Mateta, I think
yeah. I mean,
that
he
guy
gave
is
him.
that guy is a powerhouse.
He's absolutely powerful, and he gave him a few concerns. And when Badiashile came off, he seemed almost relieved. I didn't really like to see that, and I'd like to think that isn't the reason. If that's the reason, then that's a big concern because even if you're 5'2" as a defender, you should be happy to take on anyone, especially at the top flight. You know, one thing I do admire about Cucurella is that wherever you put him, he will stand up to it. He will fight. He will put him against a 6'4" giant from Nottingham Forest, and he will still give it a go. And that's what I want to see. I don't want to see any defender looking a bit concerned and unsure. So
Mhm.
I would start with that same back four because you're right. Luton's going to be very physical. It's going to be compact in their stadium. Their fans are going to try and be on top of you, and you need that. You know, somebody mentioned Gilchrist. I'm not sure he can start. He will be on the bench and he can come
It
off the
will be a
bench.
while before he becomes a starter,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The time to start him might be Preston in the FA Cup. You know, that might be a good one to start him in. Obviously surrounded by experience, but there's no need to rush him. You know, he did well in pre-season, but as I've said, you know, you don't rush him, certainly if you don't have to. So for me, that back four, I think the goalkeeper, Petrovic, Santos. Santos should be getting worried because, yeah, although at times I was like, oh gosh, can this guy come out and get some of those crosses from corners? I'd like to see him come out a bit more and be a bit more commanding in his box. But he does everything else quite okay, and he's certainly not prone to the same errors of passing the ball to the opposition that Robert Sanchez is. So I think Petrovic is beginning to stake his claim there. And if he continues like that, he will be the number one.
Yeah, I would say from what I've seen so far, he seems a bit calmer on the ball than than Sanchez, in my opinion.
He sure
But
does.
it's too early in the days. We'll see more. So, Bobby, do you agree with the back four, or do you suggest any changes? And do you see anything different happening there?
No, same starting back four as against Palace.
All right.
That's
I guess Palace, but I think Thiago Silva starts this time. Badiashile is not dropping to the bench because he's bad. I think because probably the manager, you can see he wants to rotate. Because the games are coming in thick and fast. I don't know what game comes next after this one. I think that will have a huge and how soon the game comes also. That will have a
6th
huge
of January, coach.
5th of January. So it's a few days actually. Still 6th.
Yeah.
That's about so the other one comes tomorrow. That's about 6 days also, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
7,
I
8.
think it's Liverpool again, isn't it? I think it's away at Anfield after
Mm,
this.
No, I
no,
thought it was Fulham. I'd have to
no,
look at it.
no, not Liverpool. Let me just check quickly. Just give me Chelsea schedule. Just quickly, the next game, FA Cup third round on the 6th, Preston. And then
Well,
after that,
Preston.
on the 9th of January, Preston. The games are coming in thick and fast. So yeah, so chances are he will rotate. Then after Middlesbrough, then it's Fulham, then it's actually Middlesbrough's second leg, even before Liverpool on January 23rd. Yeah, so it's a long way to play Liverpool. So I think we'll be even better, stronger at the time. Look at Coach's shirt. You're already there, not me.
Bear in mind,
That
bear
was
in
good.
mind,
Yeah,
Coach.
Roger.
So sorry, Roger.
No, you go
Assuming.
ahead.
Bear in mind, really quickly, we'll be better off injuries willing, and also people underestimate the second part of the season. The early part of the
Mhm,
second part of the season is often the hardest part because that's where everybody's fighting the hardest. And
mhm.
it's only towards, let's say, the last 2 weeks of the season where the teams that are mid-table and safe and can't really go anywhere and are already on the beach on holiday are perhaps a little less of a threat. But those fighting for positions are very, very dangerous. So we have to really, really up our game if we want to get
Yep.
anything out of the league.
All right, thank you so much. I'm not gonna forgive you this one, Constantine. That Eiffel Towers at the back. Yep, that's what we're gonna see. We needed to watch a set piece from Luton because they have scored 7 goals this season from set piece. Be specific there. Noni should be in that lineup. Do I think he starts? It's difficult to say. Pochettino is predictably unpredictable, according to Roger. Until let's find out. There's no, you can say, steady pattern with regards to
He
his
he might
selection process.
he might start him ahead of Sterling because
We'll
let's be
find out.
real. If anybody needs to be punished a bit for playing silly buggers on the field, it's Sterling.
We'll
Silly
find out. I think
buggers.
probably that will lead to us using the board to find out who the player that people thinks will start that game. Noni, yeah, on the right, Starling on the left. That may well happen, but we'll see. Starling loves scoring goals against these types of teams. Let's see. Which team does the shirt resemble more? I'm not going to talk about that. The blue, you know where he lives. Let's go with and Aka, aka maybe let's just call it Aka. Aka says the other CBs also old. They all have dodgy passes slash play. This old argument is a bit of a copium. Okay. What does Nani have to do to get a start? It's not up to us. Chances are he starts tomorrow, but we don't know. I think Nani will start. Let's see. Hopefully he starts. But we'll see. We'll decide. Wally Waldo, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. When John Terry's age started to become a factor in his mobility, he still had his intelligence to rely on, and that's more important, in my opinion. And more importantly, elite players around him to compensate. Silva doesn't have that assistance. That's a good point too. Yep. Palmer, Starling, and Nkunku, that will change for a while. Let's see what happens. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. He won't start Nani because of the fraud. Wow. Silva, I can't even get myself to read that, even though I get it, your opinion matters. Silva is not like Terry, though. I think he's different. He can play longer than Terry, actually. The two different players. Terry is more aggressive. For me, I don't want to get into that argument. Talking more about the dynamic. Let's see. It's a Fulham. Yeah, thank you for that, Wally World. I appreciate you joining. If Lavia is fit, will he start over Gallagher? Since there's a comma, let me speak like Nigerians do. Since like there's a comma with regards to his fitness, I don't think he starts tomorrow. They're not going to risk it. Even if it turns out that, yeah, it's nothing too much to worry about, they will let him rest to fix that before he comes back. That's what I think. Forgot about the FA Cup. Yeah. Greetings, everyone in the room. Hope your day is going well. Big up Kochi, Temidayo. I hope your day is going well too, brother. Nice to see you. It's been a while. Hopefully, the case is that you've been busy and nothing wrong has happened. Chowa, Kulubali, James Sujinho, Kante covers his Stalin, Aubameyang all did what? Is this lineup better than lineup now? More experience. That's all I can say. More experience and I'll take Kovacic anytime, any day, but I'm not sure how to answer that really. The Luton pitch is small and compact, so Chelsea players should be ready for a battle. Okay, let's let it happen. If Poch goes by his comment and presser about Noni, he surely starts if he doesn't, Poch will lose respect. I don't know, but we'll find out. Run up the likes, people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. We have 65 likes. We should get it up to 100. We should be capable of doing that. Look at the poll. The poll has 79 votes, and shame on those that wants Gallagher sold. And I like that sort of things. That's like in your face thing. Look at it there and deal with it. Tamidaya, Constantine Dante, welcoming you back. Anyone else think we will pay Osimhen release clause in January and get him in the summer? Possibly. Because the Laurentiis is a smart man. He knows we can do without Osimhen. I wouldn't say we can do without Osimhen until the summer. He probably will come up with that part because we would want a more, you could say, favorable payment option. So then he will have the opportunity to say, okay, if you want that, then let's keep him to the end of the to the summer. I think we will agree. It's a possibility, and that is if the Saudis don't come back and pay something that the kid will look at that and say, yeah, I'm going. It's business after all. Yes, Eugene, if that team is coached by TT, they will beat this team. But if that team is under Potter, it will be drop draw. If we pay release clause, he comes straight up. We don't, but you can. I'm quite sure we're not just gonna say we're paying the release clause without seeking a favorable payment terms. In my opinion, Wahi or Osimhen, for the panel, Osimhen anytime, any day. Why he isn't that much different from the players we have already. But that's just my opinion. Loftus or Conor Gallagher, I'll take Loftus anytime, any day. That's just me. Is that real question, Eugene? Maybe a fake question. You find out from him. Let's go. So Bobby agrees. For me, 2 6s. I think Casado keeps his place. He probably be much better right now. We can't do otherwise. Ugochukwu still out, quite sure. But let's Gallagher here. Yep, let's do this quickly and come back to that. Go back here. Check injuries and suspension. For us, Wesley Fofana, Trevor Chalobah, Robert Sanchez, Reece James, Mark Kukurea, Leslie Ugochukwu, you have still out. Return date unknown. Enzo Fernandez, a few days. Connie Chukwuemeka, doubtful. That's a good sign. But chances are, once you say the status says doubtful, the player may well be available for selection. I don't know. But for 2 6s right now, that is it for me. Roger, let's hear you. You think differently? Let's hear you.
No, I think that's a safe bet, isn't it? Realistically.
Yeah. Yeah, Bobby, 2 6s. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. We have to be very prudent at the back. They're going to be very physical, lots of aerial balls. So we need a lot of defensive protection for build-ups to crosses and so on. So yeah, 2 6s. Who are they to start? Well, it's got to be Caicedo and Conor Gallagher. Poor Conor.
Yeah, we have no
playing
option.
game after
But if
game
I
after
were,
game.
yeah, go ahead, Bobby. Sorry, apologies.
I was just saying, poor Connor is having to play twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, and still getting disrespected by some people. But yeah, he has to be there to go again. And away, we've seen how inconsistent we are, how we are, world beaters at Stamford Bridge, then go away and we play like a bunch of donkeys. So we have to get that out of the system. It has to be Connor and Caicedo as 2 6s for this game. You got to try
Yeah,
and
thank
hit
you so
these
much for
guys on the break.
67 likes. Go ahead, Bobby. Go ahead. Sorry. I
Yeah,
thought you
just so
dropped.
we have to try and have the discipline to hit them on the break. Turn it into a boring game. Play boring. If they're going to try and hit us on the break, sit back, do the Mourinho thing. Oh, you want to hit us on the break? We'll sit back and hit you on the break. And the game is a yawn fest until suddenly somebody that has quality, which will usually come from the Chelsea side, decides to break the ranks, do something, score a goal, and we go back to sitting back. Let's do that. I'll be happy with that if we win.
Nkunku or Palmer, I'd say Nkunku. In my opinion, Palmer sometimes hogs the ball too much. To me, that's his thing. Nkunku releases the ball quicker. But I think I need more time, actually. At least Gallagher being out of the 10 gives us another attacker better chances to score.
Coach,
Let's see, Russ. Sorry?
Do you think it'll be wise for him to overplay Nkunku in one game and then 3 days later start him? No, he's not going to do that. He will
Yeah.
start Palmer, who has rested, and rightly so. Nkunku can
But I
come off
think
the
Nkunku
bench.
still starts.
Well, you'll see. You will see that I really beg to differ.
I'd be shocked if Nkunku starts. I'll be very shocked.
Yeah. You could see,
Really?
how
He was fading
second
in the
half.
second half. Yeah.
Yeah, coach is just trying to make a show of it. He's
No.
not.
But really, Bobby, he didn't finish the
Second,
game, right? That's because he's not
no,
fully fit yet. But I
no,
think
Right,
he
it's not.
starts
exactly.
this game.
He was flagging in the second half.
Listen,
he really was.
if it wasn't for the suspensions, I don't believe Nkunku starts that game. I think he comes
No,
off the bench.
no, I don't. And if you start him on this one, that means you're saying injury. Where are you? Injury. Can
Yeah.
you come back, please? That's
Hola.
what you're saying. Yeah, hola, injury. No, he's got to come off the bench. It's sensible. I mean, Palmer he may hold on to the ball too much, but I'm not sure
No,
about that.
I'm not holding him for that's his style. I'm just comparing the two of them.
I honestly don't believe that Nkunku started against Palace if it wasn't for the fact that Palmer and Sterling were suspended. I think
Me
he comes
too.
off the bench. And I think that's the same now because he wasn't ready to start last game. And his legs, listen, and it's not up to, well, it is up to Poch, but he's going to go sit down as they do every week or prior to every game with the medical staff and the coaching
Yeah.
staff, and they'll sit down and talk about minutes played, but more importantly, the amount of
Recovery.
running burst. It's not just the distance they've covered, but the manner in which they covered the distance. They have that data, and so they will see this is more susceptible to being injured because he's done A, B, and C. And I believe that's what
He
will
needs
transpire.
recovery. He needs good recovery. You can't do that.
I'll be shocked if he starts, Bobby. I'll be very shocked.
I'd be shocked if he doesn't start. And I'm serious. I'd be shocked. Here's the thing. I think maybe he starts but won't finish the game. I don't
No, yeah, for
think-
sure. He's not.
Yeah.
I'm
Go
not
ahead.
saying. Listen, just because I don't believe he's starting, that doesn't mean he's going to finish the game. If he starts, he's coming off after 55, 60 minutes.
Yeah.
But I believe, honestly, he's probably going to be off the bench because we only played 3-4 days ago.
Yeah.
So we played on when? When did we play? The 27th. So he's playing 3 days later. Now it's.
We played 2 days ago. We played on Wednesday.
So that you're talking 3 days fully
Yeah.
recover, 3.5 days. It's. I think. Listen, I think we should be conservative in this regard because of the fact he's coming off a major knee injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
All right.
just like with Lavia, you're injured and you've recovering from the injury you had, and because of your overcompensating, you pick up one somewhere else, just like Lavia's done. So like in his thigh. So no, I don't even want
I'd
him
be
to
shocked.
start.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'd be very shocked because of the fact he's recovering from such an injury. That's all. That's my logic.
Roger, here's the thing. I'll take you to that your favorite Las Vegas buffet whenever you come around if he doesn't start. Then I'll spend everything. Come with 10 friends. And then if he starts, then you take me to that favorite buffet whenever you come to Las Vegas and
you got it, mate.
10 of my friends. You agree?
Sure.
Okay.
I think that's a fair wager.
We beat Luton and this type of relegation fear. Let's see what else we have here. Lavia is injured, 0 hours, could not run very well. I think it takes time. That's because he has a match atmosphere. You can say being involved in a game proper is different from what you experienced during a training session. Is Chalobah still actually injured, or there's something else going on? Something else is going on, because I don't believe there a few days for how many months right now. Maybe the club doesn't want to risk him getting injured again and not sell him. Up the Charles, Glenn fan and Blues football fan. Nice to see you. Glenn's fan, is that Glenn Tan fan? And Choma is in the house, and Choma says it's her birthday. Happy birthday to you. I wish I could sing. I used to actually sing very well, but I don't want to disgrace myself here. But Choma, here's to you. We celebrate with you, the queen of the house.
I don't believe.
And thank you for all the support. We appreciate it, Choma. Here's to you. And the soundboard works right now. What's happening to the soundboard? Come on, the Bluetooth game, you ruin everything. But more importantly, Choma, happy birthday to you. You know that comes from the heart deep down. We appreciate you so much for all the support and for always helping keep the conversation clean. You're so much appreciated, Choma. Again, enjoy yourself. And today you become a year older. How old? We don't know. But I just want to let you know, the Bluetooth game has ruined the soundboard. I wanted to celebrate you. But Choma, thank you so much again for letting us know. We do enjoy hearing from our members who celebrate anything. So congratulations to you for becoming a year older today. Wish you, you can say, a beautiful 2024. Hello, everyone. Hello to you, to Choma again once more. We celebrate with you. Let's see what else we have here. Nkunku needs to start this. It's a more important game. I think he starts, but I know where they're coming from. It's probably be Stalin, Palmer, Noni, in my opinion. Okay, I like the disclaimer there. Kachila, be confident. You are right. You're in the right corner. Nkunku is starting. I think he's starting, but I'm not going to go to the extent of say I'm going to do a giveaway if he doesn't start, because Roger and Bobby they scared the heck out of me with their explanation of everything. Coach, it's my birthday. Even I've seen that on the other screen, so I was able to recognize that's the case even before I got there. Or is it me not hearing the soundboard? I should be hearing it, but the Bluetooth game ruined it for everyone because I wanted to boo him. But Choma, enjoy your birthday. Mudryk and Lavia will not be available for a few games, confirmed by Poch. He didn't say specifically that Mudryk will not be available for a few games. What I read is that Mudryk will be assessed to conclude whether he'd be available or not. Do you believe players are fake injuries, Coach? Players do that sometimes, but it's rare. But if your club finds out, then you're in trouble. Yeah. Big up Choma. Wish you a happy birthday, Choma. I know a lot. Not starting in Nkunku, man. He must start. He needed Stalin. Must be on the bench. And the Maya. I expected you saying that. Bobby and Roger equal to
Coach,
yeah.
Is this Choma? Is this Choma the person you used to have on the show sometime? The lady
Canadian. I think you're talking about Just Viola.
Oh,
but
right,
Choma used to be. Choma has no. Okay, you're talking about the one on the panel. She's in the UK now for her school. You're talking about Louisa.
I can't remember then. It was
Louisa. She's been on the panel here. Choma is lives in Canada, but a big supporter of the community, even the Chelsea perspective community, and also a soccer perspective. Always there. She always helps to keep the conversation clean. But more importantly, Choma, no distractions there. It's your birthday. Enjoy yourself. Drink responsibly if you do drink. Let's see what else you have here. Bobby, were you still talking?
No, I was saying happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, Chama. And Roger, you want to say happy birthday to Chama too?
Yeah, many happy returns of the day indeed.
Yep, enjoy yourself. And Coach, write it down and question the panelists once the team will be announced. We'll do a pregame show for sure. So happy birthday, Chama. Enjoy yourself. Chama yourself. And but wait, they are in Poch. Maybe that's why Poch needs to go. And the results are suffering. Let's see. And Chama also, thank you to all of us. Chama, let's see. What are you? If he doesn't start, let's see. What do you really have to ask that? Thank you, Chama. Enjoy yourself. If he starts and gets injured, then everyone in this chat will be complaining that we bought an injury-prone player. he doesn't have to finish the game. I think the manager's priority will be to start well, because I'm suspecting that Luton would defend deep. So we're better off starting well than chasing the game, than bringing him on when we concede. That's when, in my opinion, we run the risk of him getting injured even more.
Coach,
so we're better.
you're talking
go ahead.
yourself into your logic. Nice try, Coach.
Just go away, Raja. Wally Waldo, thank you for that. I'm not going to try to explain again. Coach, these two don't realize Poch needs a win, and that's screams Nkunku lose, and hell will break loose. I don't think we'll lose. I think we'll win, but I understand where they're coming from, but I still think he starts. I'd rather not start Nkunku. Let's see anything else. Thank you for that response there. You're a fraud too. Go away. It was the heat. Yeah, maybe. Coach, have you tried plugging it in and switching it on? I've tried that. It's not working. I wanted to celebrate the trauma deep down, but unfortunately, you ruined it. Thank you all. I appreciate that. We appreciate you more, Trauma. Thank you so much. Bye, guys. Bye to you too, Rich Money Maker. See you next time. I didn't know that. Yeah, exactly. Great to have some. We do have them. A lot of them. We diversity is you can say our strongest. You can say. It's our strength. Yeah. Thank you, Bobby and Roger. And I haven't seen thank you, Coach. So Choma, you owe me. Thank you, Coach. Biggs, Coach, Man City beat Bede. Okay. According to Fabrizio Romano, they're close to actually wrapping up the deal. I told you we should sign him. We were interested too. I heard. Maybe
Coach,
we didn't push that much for him. 17-year-old Argentine international. One of the revelations of the just concluded under 17 FIFA World Cup. Yeah, he was excellent. I heard. But that's by the way. Let's see. Roger, I'm still gonna go Nkunku here. We disagree, so we'll most definitely use the chat. So let's go, Roger. Let's hear you. Number 9. Let's hear you.
You're talking about the player number 9, not the positional number 9.
Player
correct?
number 9, yeah.
Okay, so I believe it's Palmer. I really do.
You think Palmer is going to play? So I'm saying number 11, position number 9, because I want to use the poll here.
Sure. I would like to see Broja play.
What do you think Poch does?
Who started the last game? So I think Jackson is going to start. Realistically, I think he'll choose him to start. I wouldn't know. I would choose. Don't get me wrong, though. I'm getting more impressed with him, Jackson. The more I see him, but
that's one thing I like about you. But before that game, you didn't think he did really well. But you watched it again. Once you watched it, Coach, we're all the same. But go ahead.
I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong, but I still stand by my logic about his ability to finish. He's. I think he needs to go out on loan in that regard to hone his skills, and obviously, I am obviously a huge critic of his inability to use his head, but the other things that he does exceptionally well at a very high level, and I think that's very important. You know, I think I believe that him and Nkunku, well, in this case, coming off the bench, cough, cough, I think he's going to match up with him. I think they're going to build a wonderful partnership. Linkage, the link up is excellent. I really do.
You want to see the same thing you saw during preseason, right? So I'm going to say Nkunku.
Yeah.
Those in the chat says Nkunku for 10. So we're going to go for that Nkunku here. Even if we think otherwise, I had to use a poll because our decisions were in uniform. Go ahead, Bobby. Were you saying something?
I haven't voted yet. Listen,
you think 71% to what? You think you can make that much of a difference? And that's 7 votes. I mean, go ahead, Roger. I'll let you vote.
Oh wow, 71. I didn't know. Okay. Listen. Come on, people, back me up here.
No, go ahead. I'll let you vote. If you make a difference, let's see, 71% to 29%. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, checkmate. So
yeah.
I can do the math. I would say realistically, I'm sad to say it, but I believe Sterling starts on the left. I don't think, and I think it's for multiple reasons, including rotational, but I don't believe Mudryk starts, even though I thought those two or three, Mudryk and Nkunku, played very well together with Jackson. I thought their link-up play was excellent.
It was delicious. The understanding between them, right?
That first 20 minutes or so, I mean, that is pure, unadulterated, sexy football, period. Really is. It was something to behold. It was so fluid. It was fast. And it wasn't just, listen, I'm going to tell you, it's the fact that he would link up with Mudryk, but then he would make a run that would allow space for Mudryk to run into. And without that running, with Nkunku, by the way, you know, those three, I thought they played very well together.
He played well in the 10 role, and I didn't expect him to be that good in that position. Yeah. And the
who are you talking about?
Go ahead. Thank you. The beautiful game. Boo to you. Coach, I just realized you've gone a whole 90 minutes without a successful tapping. You are Kai Havertz. Boo. Go away. And Choma, guess what I wanted to do for you? Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Uh-oh.
Oh my goodness, it's still ruined. Okay, Choma, we celebrate you. Sorry, Roger, were you still speaking?
Yeah, don't worry. Listen, I it's I think it's going to be Sterling.
Yeah,
I really do. I think Sterling starts on left, not Mudryk. You know, I mean, who else is going to start actually instead of Nkunku? Who's going to, because Gallagher? Who else is going to replace Gallagher? You know, in that regard, where's our depth? Well, it could be the two boys, the two number 9s. Actually, I think they will start together. That's what I think. Broja and Jackson.
Number 9s, Broja and Jackson.
Yeah, I think this is just my opinion. I think you're going to see the same, but without Mudryk. I think you're going to see Sterling instead of Mudryk. That's the only difference. And Nkunku coming off the bench. I think you're going to have a Broja, a Jackson, a Palmer, and a Sterling starting. It's going to be very fluid. It's a shame Mudryk won't start, but I get why. That's what I believe will transpire.
Yeah, I didn't think Mudryk start. As long as there's a question mark over his fitness, I think he's not going to start. I believe that. Echeverry can play right wing. I think I haven't seen even his highlights. I just heard he's one of the revelations of the competition. Coach, you got your poll confusing people, both Palmer and Nkunku. Yeah, for the 10 role. That's what we're looking for. Because they're saying Nkunku won't start. So, but people picked Nkunku, which means they believe they're gonna start. He's gonna start. So Palmer now right wing. We have one more position to fill in there. Happy birthday to you, Choma from Oladipo Mesole. She appreciates that. Chelsea ready to sign Esavo Willian for 16 million. I haven't seen that too. I'll check on yeah, Oladipo, thank you. She appreciates that. Choma, just know that we celebrate you. Chelsea all the way. I think the beautiful game, he's ruined my soundboard because I wanted to boo him. Coach, the most unkind thing you did to me this morning is asking me to vote between Nkunku and Palmer. It's a hard one. Listen, if you feel like Nkunku starts, you know fully well that he will start in the 10th position. Palmer has always been more effective starting on the right. And by the way, the whole point is that it's a fluid approach. You see one player the other side, you see the other player the other side. So
yeah, you look
at
Nkunku.
I love you, bro. You know I love you. Sorry, Roger, were you saying something?
Yeah, look at Nkunku. He played for large patches of the game on the left, and Mudryk was central. You know,
Yeah,
look when
so
he
it's
scored.
a fluid approach.
Very much.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, so Sterling scored a double against Luton last time. So probably I can't quite remember. I can't quite remember even if he scored against them. So if he did, then he will most likely start. Silva should come off the bench again. I think that's when we see the Silva we know. Probably, yeah, because he's read the game. He knows where the problems lie, and then can come in and fix it immediately. That's another way to use him. But we'll find out what happens. That's oh my goodness. You are truly not nice. Something is wrong with my second system. That's why shame on you too, man. Just go. Oh my goodness. With a big pitch, Luton will have no chance against Chelsea, but a small pitch will make it difficult. I watched Luton versus Arsenal and will tell you ban the pitch. Yes, then if the pitch is smaller, it's an advantage for all parties involved, all players on the pitch. In my opinion, that sounded needs to work, but it hasn't worked. I used to use the chairs there. Starling that dives too much. I don't want to see him on the pitch tomorrow. He couldn't pass it to Palmer during Wolves game. But I think we can do without that. Let's see what else we have here. Choma, I apologize on behalf of Coach. He's not usually this bad, but don't worry. January is coming. Arsenal have showed some interest. Just go away. Yes, Choma, I second that. He hasn't serviced his soundboard. Go away, guys. Just go away. Don't tell me, man. We'll get a Chevrolet that easy without you can say without a beating war like they do with Vadio. Like they did with Vadio. I don't think I would that interested in signing a Chevrolet. Roger Nkunku was moved to the right when Poch sent Gus to left back. That adjustment nullified Nkunku's threat nearly, he says. Okay. I'm going to go here on the left, Roger. That's where probably we're going to have a problem selecting a player there. On the left, who plays? Mudryk, for me, I don't think he starts. I think Raheem Sterling comes in. What do you think?
Yeah, sadly, I think that's the case. And I'm not sure about, obviously, his fitness levels, his health, based on the fact he looked like he picked up a knock. It looked horrible tackle, actually. Got his right ankle stuck under. So, in all likelihood, he may not even see the pitch.
Yeah, and
tomorrow,
that's because we have Sterling back.
Well, yeah, that, and he may not be able to play tomorrow, let alone start. So I just hope that he's able to at the very least come on for 30 minutes or so, because I know he's raw. He's exceptionally raw. I mean, but you see flashes of brilliance. You see flashes of what he can do, and it's a big tease. Yeah. He's a bloody big tease. But I like what I see from him for the most part. And it's just his first touch often lets him down, unfortunately. And his passing actually seems to be improving for the most part. But he makes these really hard, passes look so easy. And yet the easy ones, he can't complete a 3-yard pass sometimes.
Yeah,
he's a bit frustrating.
There was one chance he created. Was it for Ian Matson? Was it?
Yeah,
Matson
exactly. And he's done that multiple times this season.
Yeah,
where he dissects the centre backs. He splits them. Splits the defense wide open. Yeah. I mean, that's beautiful. You don't usually see that from someone as young as him. He's definitely got that in his repertoire. He does it often, and it's lovely. And to be honest with you, Matson was unfortunate not to have scored.
Yeah, he tried because he went beyond the goalkeeper. I just didn't get in. The other guy had to. There was no pace on it.
There was a beautiful run he made.
Yeah,
really
it was,
beautiful run. Keeper got a bit lucky there, to be honest with you.
You could argue that because he went through his legs, right?
Yeah. Yes,
and he touched it. He deflected it a bit. That was why he slowed down and then moved with pace into the goalpost. Yeah. He has an eye for goals, and he has eyes for goals, and can actually put away chances quite well. For him, it's not about power but finesse. But let's hear you, Roger. You were still speaking. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Listen, Mudryk, all he had to do was just dink the keeper on the second one. If we're looking at angles where 90 degree is straight up, 45 is dissecting that. I've seen it multiple times. It was about a 25, 30 degree chip. It needed to be 45 plus, 45 to 65, and he would have easily scored. He didn't get his foot underneath the ball enough. Other than that, I mean, these little things, but I like the fact that he is improving defensively, and this is something that he was quite poor at initially when he played for Chelsea. His either inability to track back at times, or when he did so, he let's just put it this way, he was like a statue. He wasn't really effective, but now he's becoming far more effective. He really is. You can see that they've worked with him on the training ground. He's completely different from the beginning of the year. So I'm happy in that regard. He's improving in all facets of his game. He really is. But I still believe he needs a far greater run of starts to continue. So,
to reach the heights you have in mind, right?
Yeah, he needs to start 10 games. Listen, assuming he's healthy and there's more than 4 days between each game, he should be starting, a good 10 to 12 games in a row, and you'll see an improvement. You really will. And I prefer him over Sterling. I do. Listen, I don't know, but for tomorrow, I don't believe he starts at all. I'd be very shocked.
Yeah.
I wish he does.
Jackson,
I hope he does.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he starts, in my opinion, but we'll find out tomorrow. Jackson got his first goal against Luton Town. Thank you for that information right there. EE says, can Poch being this Cowell at left back nonsense? He doesn't trust Ian Matson, so we'll still see Cowell there. Mudryk looked better because he has a player like Nkunku to link up with. Gets his movement. They work together well. Yeah, they work well together. I've seen that, and long may that continue.
I agree.
Yep, I agree. Coachella, if the pitch is better for both clubs, why is it all big clubs are struggling against Luton at their? That's just my how I read the situation, in my opinion. All at their place with 2-3 passes from your box. You find yourself in the rival's box, handball and all that. Here's the thing,
Kenilworth Road is a tough place to play. It's a very intimate pitch.
Yeah. I was going to ask you to elaborate on that. Why you think that's the case? But go ahead.
Yeah, because it's small capacity. It's quintessentially an old traditional football pitch. It's very close. The crowd is very close to the pitch, so within touching distance, so to speak. They're rowdy. I mean, they are true football supporters. They're old style. This is an old football team, a traditional old football team. Not pretty to watch at times, and playing away, it's a big difference. That 12th man is a big difference, and it's a windy, cold place sometimes. It's, it's not easy playing there. You could ask a lot of the other teams that play there. They come away knowing that they played a serious game. It's it's not all about players per se. It's about the atmosphere. It's about the pitch itself. It's about the intimacy. Look at Crystal Palace's place. They got such a small capacity, but it sounds like you're playing at the Bernabeu half the time. Things like that matter, believe it or not.
Yeah, I totally understand. Small pitch, not much space. Yeah. Let's see. But if you knew before the game that that's the case, you prepare for it by training your players in a manner that won't be an issue. Yeah, that's how I see it. There's a trust back Cowell currently. He's the worst left back in the world. I think it's about his height, but that has led to a couple of issues. He tends to drift inwards. Because traditionally he is on the left back. So I'm not going to even judge him. He's not a left back. Nkunku could have scored against Palace. The only player who understands the Mudryk's play at the moment is Jackson. Both also, they combine together too. Okay. Let's see what else we have
Do I
here.
get to pick?
Yeah, just 1 second. I was gonna come back to you. I understand. Is Waldo there and I can't see him? Or are you just calling someone else Waldo? Let's see what else we have here. And Chimera is saying Jackson as the striker is pointless. Yeah, he was never a striker. It's a fluid approach. Jackson also have photos after BBQ. Just go away. Go ahead, Bobby. Come in. You can peek there.
Yeah, I have quite a different point of view for the striking force. And the fact that we have differing points of view, I don't know. I think maybe that's a good thing, alluding to the fact that we have people coming back from injuries. I think, and not only is this what I want, but I think this is what he will do, because he spoke a lot about freshness and the fight in a place like Luton, and we're going to need fresh players ready to fight. And that's why I'm almost certain Nkunku will not start and should not start and
Mudryk
should
isn't gonna
come
play,
on
right?
when the opposition is a little bit more jaded. I think on the right will be Sterling. I don't want Sterling there. I would rather he starts with Madueke, but I don't think he will start with Madueke. All these players, remember, we still have 5 substitutions, so a lot of these players will still come off the bench. So on the right, at that what you had as a number 9 position, will be Sterling. In the middle will be Palmer. On the left will be Jackson, and the striker will be Brozier. That's how I see he's going to do it, because physicality is there minus
Could you
and the
repeat that,
tricky.
Bobby?
Sorry,
I
the
apologize.
left. The right will be Sterling.
Sterling. Yeah.
The middle Palmer to support the midfield, and the left will be Jackson. Remember, these guys are very interchangeable anyway. A front 3 on paper is not a front 3 in game. They will move
Sure.
around.
The
And the
application is
striker will
different.
be Brozier. I think Brozier will get a start. He may not finish the game, but he will certainly get a start. And his physicality is a problem. Brozier, I think, is excellent at plucking the ball in the air. He nearly scored. I've seen him score a lot of those in training, getting the long pass off the air, controlling the ball and hitting it first time. That is very much his signature movement. Some players, they have this sort of signature movement.
Yeah.
Sterling's is the far post goal. That sort of plucking the ball from the air and shooting is very much a Brozier type of thing. And that'll be useful in this game. I think this game, the physicality of having strikers to give them a bit of a headache is going to be very important. So mine will be Sterling, Palmer, going from left to right. Sterling, Palmer, Jackson. I would have preferred having what's his name, Madueke start, probably even ahead of Jackson, but I don't think he will do that. And Brozier as the striker.
Okay, so yes, then we use the poll to find out 75% of the votes thinks Nkunku will start with playing the 10 role, which means minus one of Jackson and Brozier. So I'm going to use the poll again and ask who starts in the number 9 position, so that because we disagree on that, our decisions are
Constantine Dante.
yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I think so. Let's do number 9 between Jackson and Amanda Brewer. So they choose for us because our decisions aren't uniform. So number 9, I'm gonna say Brewer here.
I actually think it's going to be more of a 4-4-2, if anything.
Yeah, in application, right? But the structure we see is usually this. But when it
No,
starts,
I get it.
Yeah, they change this to 4-4-2.
But I believe
go ahead if you were still talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be the big boys up front. I really do. I think it's going to be Brozier and Jackson up front in all likelihood.
You think the 2 of them starts at the same time?
Yeah, I really do.
Okay, let's see. Jackson, 75%. Let's wait for the poll a bit. And with that, I think we're going to look with a few of comments from the manager's press, and then we'll call it a day from there. Mauricio Pochettino was asked if Chelsea will they be allowed New Year's Eve and New Year's Day off? Yes, of course. If Chelsea wins, he says there. Planned day off and all that. Anything else? Let me just go to this guy's page and see comments from the manager's press. But Rocha, anything else you want to say? You can go ahead and say why I opened that. Let's wait for the people to vote, then we can call it a day.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I think.
Oh, okay. I think that's the first in a while.
Yeah, no. Listen, you've got players returning. I know we've got a few knocks also, but and I've been waiting to, as we all have, to watch Nkunku. We're different when he's on the field. I think we can safely all agree on that. We're completely a different team. He oozes class and quality. He really does. It's noticeable, you know. And we're seeing the slow but gradual, maturity of Madueke. Mudryk. Also, I can't wait we're going to see Madueke come on as a sub also, I believe. So, and I rate him very highly, gentlemen. As I said, I rate him higher at this stage in his career than Mudryk because of he's far less raw. It's good. It's also, it looks like Jackson is really, he's becoming part of the team. He seems to be the glue that bonds a lot of these players together with how he links up, and also let's not forget Petrovic. I'm happy to watch him week in, week out. I think he's going to be a solid goalkeeper for us moving forward. But it's early days yet, so I understand that. But he's the player I watch the most, actually, for obvious reasons. But yeah, I think I'm just worried about our midfield. I'm worried about how thin we are. That's my only concern.
Yeah. Bobby, you go ahead. Anything else you want to say?
No, I see your ex post from Chelsea Dodgers. Currently without 10 first team players due to injury. Look at the sort of injuries we're carrying. It's become so common now that we're immune to it, whereas the significance doesn't change. And if you look in that list of 10, the players there that could completely, being on the field, change the impetus of Chelsea's game, it's very significant. But, we are where we are. Enzo's injury remains a bit of a mystery, though. Nobody really can say 100% what it is. The only thing I will say out of that is perhaps he's getting a rest that he probably needs far more than the healing from the injury. I think that rest itself will heal him up. So if he misses this game and maybe one other, who knows how much good that would do for him going into a very, very difficult second part of the season. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, let me look at a few of the stuff from the manager's press. Bobby have addressed that one. As I said, it's still out, and none of the players out will be involved tomorrow. Mauricio Pochettino says his Chelsea players must be ready to match Luton Town's desire and fight when the two sides meet in the Premier League at Kenilworth Road tomorrow. Something else there. Let's see anything else from the manager's press here. Mauricio Pochettino was asked if Chelsea win, will they be allowed? I think we've addressed that one. Mauricio Pochettino confirmed that Mykhailo Mudryk needs to be assessed ahead of tomorrow's game. To me, that shows he's not going to play after he limped off during the second half of our victory over Crystal Palace. He should at least be on the bench, I guess. That's because that happened before. It wasn't an off the ball incident. Somebody nudged him off the pitch. Mauricio Pochettino, Romeo, Lavia felt something, and we needed to check and hope it's not too bad. He finished the game, so to me, there's hope. We are a little bit worried. If you watch the game against Crystal Palace, I had to change his position with Connor. So he finished the game. That's him applauding the fans after the game. So it's I'm not saying he's going to start, but probably they will rest him not to aggravate the situation. Chelsea are expected to increase the ticket prices next season to firm. No firm decision has been made amid an ongoing consultation process, but dialogue in a series of meetings has left the supporters expecting price rises. Okay, Robert Sanchez is nearing his return to action after being sidelined for the last few weeks. Okay, let him come back, even if Petrovic is doing well. We need them both fit. Malo Gusto, I think we've addressed that one. So I'm just going to catch up with what we have here, and then we'll call it a day. Sterling doesn't deserve a minute of game time with how bad he's been add to declare. Here's the thing. It's been 6 games plus, I think. Constantine Dante mentioned that, so he's due for a good performance. So I want to see him. See Nicholas Jackson will miss opportunities. Let him create a miss. Was the challenge on Nkunku against Crystal Palace a pen? You could argue that because he wasn't impeded. If you look at it again, I would say it was a pen. He didn't just miss it like that. But that's just my opinion. I don't think Sterling he just came back from suspension. Okay, let's see. Jackson will be scoring tomorrow, and I think he start up. Hiraba Ministry. I hope I pronounced your last name correctly. So Poch is going to move away from what worked against Luton last time when we won. Maybe the fear for injuries or the injuries probably will lead to, you can say, will mean he needs to make some changes. Roger excited about Brea started. Okay,
Good one. Good one.
Good one there. Yeah, look at the players we have in. Look at Luton. After that, look, excuse narratives that should be banned. Okay, well, maybe we'll find out. Luton should sign Jackson. I don't think we'll be selling Jackson, actually. The players we have are more than worthy to win. It's about results. Yeah, I agree. I was surprised that Palace players that didn't get a card for that tackle on Mudryk. Yeah, I think he should have. That was a reckless challenge, in my opinion. I think with that, people, we've come to the natural end of the show. It's been an exciting a show with good dialogues, good conversation, whatever language you prefer. I want to say thank you to all of you for finding the time to join the show. Chimera, thank you for that. And Mabas, lateness is greatness. Thank you for finding the time to join us. Roger, thank you. Bobby, thank you. Thank you. Mabas, thank you. Chimera. Thank you, App. Thank you, JC. Thank you, Constantine Dante. Thank you, the Blue. To forget, much love to all of you. And if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. Thank you, Chelsea, all the way. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers.
Cheers.